Hello.
Hi, everybody.
That's fucking longest thing ever.
Welcome to the newscast.
It's January 27th.
Not November.
Why did I say November?
I don't know. January 27th of 2012.
It is this week's episode. So.
What are you playing?
Other
than nothing.
No, actually, I did play nothing. Nothing new.
Yes. That's more accurate.
I finished all of Super Mario 3D Land.
Yes, you did.
I finished everything in it. The only thing I can't get is some weird glittering star accomplishment or whatever. I think it's something to do with like you don't die in a level 5 times in a row.
Oh.
For every level and still finish the game. I'm like, no. The game's hard enough as it is. So I finished everything. I got up to the final level and I finally finished it after raging at it a couple times. Cause that level's hard. He played it. It's hard. I dropped like 20 lives on that level before I figured out the trick of putting or equipping the Tanuki leaf, putting one in reserve, saving, going into the level, and if I die, I just reload the save, so I don't have to go back looking for those items.
So cheating.
No, it's legitimate. Legitimate.
You're legitimate.
I don't know what you're talking about. So I've been playing that. I put in... Yay! I put in Persona 3 on my PSP.
Ah.
Just to kind of give my PSP system a final whirl.
Yep.
Before
the PlayStation Vita comes out.
The PS Vita, before that one comes out.
Wow.
And I am kind of regretting the decision to not have bought it digitally. Because I could have totally transferred it over to the Vita.
Oh.
And I don't know what the whole UMD transfer system thing works. Which it doesn't really, we don't really have anything about it right now.
No.
But there's no way to put UMDs in a Vita.
Right.
Nor the save file, so I'm kind of like, well, I'm going to have a PSP until like right until I get a Vita. So, I'm going to start, Persona 3 is an amazing game. It's.
I've heard they're really good games.
1 is kind of boring. 2 is slightly better.
Slightly better.
And if you follow a lot of coverage, Persona 4,
yeah,
which is highly regarded as one of the best ones.
Yeah.
3 and 4 are almost like the same game.
Oh, okay.
They're just different storyline, a little bit different mechanics in terms of combat, and I think it's all voice acted.
But once you kind of reach that part where your game is good,
yeah,
don't try fixing it more.
No, that's what I like about Atlas, because Persona 4 practically fixed everything that made 3 kind of meh.
Yeah.
So I think I might get Persona 4 Golden, which is the Vita version of Persona 4, except it's got a whole new level, and they always do this with their Persona games. They release an update to it and then make people spend more money on it. Because I know a couple of my friends who are huge Atlas fans.
Buy all the Atlas
Yeah,
stuff.
they're pretty much like that. She had beaten 4 like 2 or 3 times or something like that. I'm like, that's a long game, and she's totally gonna get the Vita version again. I'm like, but you don't learn, do you? So, but for me, I've never played Persona 4. I played it like an hour of it, and then I think it was the same time that God of War was out, and I was kind of...
See, that makes a difference for me most of the time when, like, they sit there and it's like, here's the game.
It's the definitive version.
And then here's the game, like the Game of the Year edition, the Gold edition, the whatever edition, and I'm sitting there going, but I already bought the game.
And that's a problem. That's a huge problem with the Pokemon games too.
Yes.
I think that the Pokemon games are...
You buy black or white, and then gray comes out. Yeah.
Ruby or Sapphire.
Yeah.
And then what was the third one? Emerald? Yeah, Emerald. That was the updated version to the GBA ones.
Yeah.
They do it all the time, and not that's a terrible thing, but...
No, because they just want you to buy more Pokemon, but that's like The Witcher 2 has finally been announced for...
Finally.
Yeah.
The Deluxe Edition and then the Dark Edition or something?
It's not even, it's just The Witcher 2 Xbox 360 version is coming with like 3 hours of extra gameplay that the PC version did not come with.
Is that coming on other things too? Like, is that on PlayStation 2?
Nope. Just
Weird.
Xbox.
That's a weird decision. No, not that I care, but...
Just April 17th.
That's soon.
The date has been finally announced, but the whole game they changed for consoles.
Yeah, it's a huge game.
Yeah.
It's one of those I think it won awards in 2011 for like the best PC game.
Yep.
Like best looking PC game.
But it makes me laugh because now they're asking a bunch of people because it's not like it's DLC content. It's completely like brand new content. They're like, are you gonna buy the PS or the Xbox 360 version if you already own the PC version? And I'm like, I was waiting for the 360 version anyways, so I'm good.
Well, I think that when they do that, they're catering to, it's pretty much fan service at this point. Because I know the turnaround on some of those more kiddie games like Pokemon or what other games do that make the updated version? I know Devil May Cry did that for 3. Resident Evil did it for Gold. With the Gold Edition.
There's a lot of games that do it, but no, and The Witcher, I think it's just because you've had to wait a little bit longer, so they've had more time to add more stuff to the game.
Well, did the Witcher 2 on PC have DLC as well?
It did have DLC. So
it might.
Well, we're getting the DLC as well as 3 hours worth of new content.
Yeah, and I think that's the same thing with Mass Effect 2 on the PS3, where when you bought it, like you got all the downloadable content.
Yeah, you got it all right away.
Which was super cool. And it's kind of like, sorry, we couldn't put it on the PS3 and earlier.
Yeah. But yeah, the game, that's fine. I'm waiting. I can't wait for that game. And the only reason, like, I didn't get it for my PC
is because you knew the Xbox one. And
I knew the Xbox one was coming, and that game apparently, if you turn like the graphics up, it's gorgeous.
With chugs.
But there's people that have game reviewer type people who have gaming PCs.
Yes.
They turned their graphics up to full, and their computers chugged. So I'm like, not getting that.
Yeah, that's the one advantage of console ports of PC games. Final Fantasy 14. So that's all I've been doing though.
Persona 3.
Persona 3. I put that in last night. I was like, yeah, and you know what? It's a really really fun game. It's one of those because it came out on the PS2 twice. Because it came out as Persona 3, and then Persona 3 Fez or Pez PES is what they called it, and then the one on PSP is that one. So it's kind of convoluted, but it was released a few times.
Yeah.
And that's about it. I mean, again, still playing the whole waiting for the Vita game, which is kind of sucky right now because I'm losing. Yeah, I don't know. What are you doing? Are you playing anything? Are you latent out yet?
Yeah, my brain finally exploded. I beat it. I beat the last Spectre on Monday night, and usually with games, when I review them, I make it most of the way through. And that gives me a general idea of where everything's going. But they did such a good job of kind of hiding how everything would come out in the end on this one. I had to finish it before I wrote that review. Oh yeah, because the continuity? Not even the continuity. I just needed to see how it ended. Because if it would have been like, it's leading up, and then a total letdown at the end, well then your story blows. But in this one, it was like leading up, and you get hints of like you're sitting there going, "Oh, it's obviously this is going on," and they're like, "You're right, but there's a bigger picture. Try putting the bigger picture together." And there's no way, no way you can.
No way these games are designed for kids, honestly.
Well, some of the first ones kind of are. Like honestly, with Diabolical Blocks, like I said in my review, you know the entire game what's going on. Like as the game keeps going, you're like, "Okay, this is obviously what's happening. This is obviously what's happening." Then you get to the end, and you're like, "See, I told you." It's like one of those mystery shows on TV where you know who killed the person 5 minutes in.
Spoilers.
Yeah.
Movie review.
But like it's one of the it's like you're watching CSI and you're like, that guy did it. And then at the end of the show you're like, see, I told you. That's what the second Layton game was like, and the third Layton game was kind of like, and this one though kept you guessing the entire game, so I'm sitting there going, I have to find out what happens. And then, of course, the credits roll, and then there's another little bit at the end of the credits where they show you kind of what to expect in the next game. But
do you think they did that for the 3DS one too?
The next game is the 3DS one.
Oh, okay. Did it allude to the 3DS one?
It didn't allude to anything 3D-ish, but that's where the story's gonna head. Yeah. So the 3DS one isn't like a new trilogy or anything. It's just like we're taking Layton and we're just going to the next system.
Is there any dates for that one?
Not that I know of.
Because ever since they locked down the region stuff, no one's been able to figure that out.
I know.
No, bad. Shush.
Shh. I don't know you. But yeah, so I've finally finished Layton, and along with Layton, there's extra puzzles, which I'm like, I must have finished.
And then you have your like downloadable ones too.
Yeah, and I haven't finished those ones yet, but I finished all you get extra challenge ones, and they're literally like, there's like they use a pick-rat system for difficulty.
Yep.
And your normal puzzle, your like easier ones are like 25. And then they're like, here's one that's 50, and you're like, okay, this is going to be a little more challenging. And then as you get farther in, like at the end of the game-ish, they're like, here's one worth 75, and you're like, whoa. And sometimes I can do the 75 ones faster than I can do the 25 ones. Because it's like, it'll be like a spatial puzzle, which I automatically just kind of look at it and go, done. Whereas some of the 25-point ones, they're like, what's 3 plus 5? And I'm like, I don't do math.
I'm super excited to see what the 3DS ones are.
And yeah, the 3DS puzzle will be awesome. But then you do the extra puzzles, and they're like, here's one worth 90. And I'm like,
how many times did you actually need a guide?
Once.
Okay, that's good.
I used my hint coins as much as, like, you know, I try not to use the hint coins. But there was one puzzle where I literally used all the hint coins, and they did not help me in any way, shape, or form. Because they're like, move this to here and this to here.
You think the QA department...
And once you figured that part out, do this. Well, I couldn't get here to here and here to there. So I'm like... One guy, guide once.
I'm really looking forward to like the whole evolution of that entire series.
It should...
Just because like, instead of having just one puzzle kind of by itself, it'd be neat to have like a puzzle that connects to another puzzle, which connects to another puzzle.
They kind of...
But like more continuity like... Because I've played Layton games before.
Yeah.
And I'm not a huge fan, but I appreciate the thought that goes into the puzzle making.
There's a lot of thought. But there was one, and like I've said before in my other reviews, there's, in the last few games, and from the second game, they started making puzzles so they fit more with the story. And then, but that made it so all of a sudden you were playing the same puzzle. Like you played the same puzzle 5 times, it was just different. And this time you end up in Layton's office, and you click on his desk, and you're like, oh, here's a puzzle hiding under his papers. So you do that puzzle, and then you click another part of his office, and they're like, oh man, there's a puzzle under these books. Man, Layton is such a pig. But it's the same puzzle, but they've changed it. And his office literally has like 6 puzzles in it, but they're the same puzzle, just... But you have to take a square that's broken into little kind of Tetris blocks, and you have to make his hat.
Oh,
you have to make his top hat, and then the next puzzle you have to take the top hat and make it into something else, and then after that, so you literally have to take the same pieces and keep making different shapes. So that's kind of like, yes, we know we have to put in this many puzzles, but now we're gonna have fun with it and make like, you know, it's now a joke, and they just put them all in one spot. They're like, here is the same puzzle 6 times, but it's different. Ha ha ha.
That just adds to the whole like over 50 different puzzles this time.
Yeah.
But it's the wording.
So there was 155 puzzles in the main story.
That's still a lot of puzzles.
That's a lot of puzzles.
And then you get your bonus ones.
And then there's the bonus ones. So I think there's 170 total, plus your downloadable ones. Which
I think Layton would be great on like the Wii U.
That's what I'm thinking. Like as progression goes,
like evolution for those kinds of games.
Your next 2 games come out on the 3DS, and then all of a sudden you make like a jump to the Wii U.
I'm super excited to see what the Phoenix Wright team does for the Wii U.
Me too. That'd be exciting.
They've been quiet for a long time.
Yeah.
Well,
that's because localization issues with Phoenix Wright are getting pricey. So.
Yeah, because like it's not like Layton where it's like a little bit of voice work and some text.
Yeah.
A lot of text in a Phoenix Wright game.
And I think it has to do with sales.
Yeah.
Like, Layton kind of popped out as a puzzle game that people bought, and then they're like, oh, there's a story in here. Whereas Phoenix Wright,
it's always been a story.
It's always been a story, but it's more of a niche for consumers. Like it's man.
And the thing is with I don't know how far back the Layton games go, but the Phoenix Wright games came out in like '99 or they're really old.
Yeah.
It was just recently they realized we could just put them all on the DS.
Right.
Because
they were Game Boy Advance games.
Yeah, they're all GBA games.
Yeah.
And the first original one was on the DS was not Trials and Tribulations, the one that came after.
Apollo Justice, or
I think it was Apollo Justice. I think that's the one. Yeah. And that one was really, really well done.
That's the one that I actually have.
Have you finished it?
Yep.
Okay, good. Yeah. Well, that's unfortunate because there's a lot of tie-ins with the first series.
I know, and
so for you, anyways. So it's all like I know that person. He's older now.
I've got the original on my iPod Touch.
Okay, yeah, that's still good.
Yeah.
That's still good. It works really good on like iOS devices. And is it on Android as well?
No.
Oh, sorry. But
Not that I know of it. I haven't looked because I already have it.
It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Honestly. So, I'm really excited to see what they do. Like these puzzle developers and story developers do with the new. That's a really nice boot up.
I know, isn't it fancy?
On the new Wii U device, the whole like being able to see where things are and then different objects. It could be a window into another world.
Well, and with the Nintendo,
Yeah.
with the Wii U controller even changing,
Yeah,
which we'll talk
still in
about,
development.
you can do a lot of cool stuff with that element of it too.
Exactly.
Other than that, no, I finished Layton and I
Anything else?
started playing Ocarina of Time again, and that was it. I have really not played all that much this week. I've been reading and writing.
Yeah, we've been busy.
Well, and then I wrote 2 reviews this week too, so.
I have one standing.
Yep.
Maybe I'll post it next week.
So that's what I'm sitting there going like, I'm like, okay, I will write this review, and then I wrote that review, and that was it. So it would be at the top. So
I don't even think Capcom has anything on the Android store.
I don't know.
It doesn't. It wouldn't surprise me. Oh
Nope.
Nope.
No.
Oh, I thought that was a thing, but so it's third party people. I know.
No, so that's all
Rockstar-
I've been playing. Otherwise,
Me neither. Soon. February is a huge month.
and I'll be getting into. Yeah, I've got more games kind of lined up. So, and Graham sent us both the games. So
Yeah. Yeah. I'm excited to see. I don't know. I don't even know what that game is.
neither do I. But
I don't even
apparently, it's really fun. So.
My friend says it's a total mind trip.
Sweet.
I'm okay with
I
that.
don't need one of those right now. We just finished Alice in Wonderland.
No, see, I was always mind tripped up with that movie and book.
Yeah, I knew that book was what it was. So. Either who.
All right.
The news.
Jumping in.
Whoosh.
Zoom. Zoom and a snooze.
You want to start us off?
Okay, we'll start with some smaller things, I guess. So if you have an Android, speaking of mobile devices, Android or iOS device, you can now download the official Steam app if you are in the beta.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're in the beta, you can go into it.
It looks like this.
Are you actually in it?
No,
No.
but this is what the login screen looks like.
Mine's a little different. I don't even know what mine. Maybe I'm in it now. I don't know. We'll see if I'm in it. Maybe they because I signed in like right when it came out. Sign in.
I just found out about it this morning.
Invalid Steam code. Oh right, because it's. I think it'll be really handy.
I think so too, and it has like chat in it as well.
Well, my favorite part about it is the fact that you can buy things inside the app now.
Yep.
That's the best part. You can queue things up and it'll just download.
So you will never miss a Steam sale ever again.
Yeah, you can it's literally Steam on your phone, and I think this is great because it also opens them up to iOS game development too.
Oh yeah.
Porting the source engine to the Android and iOS devices.
Yep.
That'd be great.
Slowly but surely moving into everywhere.
Because Unreal Tournament the Unreal Engine already runs on the iOS environment.
Yeah. So I'm excited. I like it.
Yeah, and like you said, never miss a sale, ever.
Yeah, which
That's
is the great thing because I'm not always on my laptop or my
Yeah.
computer,
like.
and then I forget about there's weeks where I will forget I have Steam.
Well, the thing is with I guess I can say this on the newscast. It doesn't matter. R, F, H, N, E. Sign in. Logging in. Account not in beta.
Yep.
So I'm not in yet. I will soon be in, hopefully.
But no, I think it's a really cool system.
Yeah, like.
From what I saw of it.
And I'm really hoping it goes towards like push notifications too on both of the platforms.
Which would be great.
Because you could.
Sales up, bing.
Yep.
Your friends online, bing.
Yep, pretty much. And then you do clan stuff if you're if you're doing raids or whatever. Like, hey guys, go log in now. I'm like, I'm at school.
Yeah.
Or I'm working or something.
See, and here again, because Blizzard did the same thing with their World of Warcraft Armory app. If you pay $3 a month, you can get guild chat enabled on your mobile device.
No, I'm not paying for that.
And I'm like, I should not have to pay for that. And now Steam's doing it and it's free.
Yep. And Steam does everything. It will be as free as possible.
Right.
Steam will be as free as possible.
Well, and I mean, on it, like, I don't know how chat exactly how much chat really costs.
Doesn't cost anything.
But that's my thing is...
It shouldn't cost anything if it's already free on the original platform.
See, and that's the thing, like with the World of Warcraft one, the $3 also goes to you can play the auction house on your server from your phone. Mm-hmm. So you can access your bank and the auction house and all that stuff. So that I can see paying for. Because there you have to write a whole new thing. Yeah. It has to connect to the server and all that fun stuff.
The talking to friends thing already exists in as a structure already.
In Steam.
They're just making it more compatible with other devices.
Yeah. So that's what's nice. It's free. So now
that was amazing.
Yeah. So I'm really excited for that because all of a sudden you can sit there going oh, I see you're playing this game.
Yeah, how awesome would it be notify me when this game.
When someone starts playing this game,
or the demo's out, or if it becomes cheap, or something. It's like Christmas sales.
Yeah, push notifications like crazy in January and in December.
Or it's your birthday, have a free game.
Bing. My birthday, they think I'm 80 years old on Steam. I think.
I don't know. Mine's at 1977 or something.
Yeah. I'm really old on Steam. Born January 1st, though.
Oh yeah, just everyone seems to be born on the same day.
Same day.
I don't know. All right.
They didn't save mine for the longest time. That's why I'm old. Because I kept changing it and changing it and changing it, and it kept changing back and back and back and back.
I didn't bother with that.
BlizzCon's been canceled.
Yeah. Oh wait, hold on.
Wait, no.
You can't do your. What do they do at BlizzCon?
They have StarCraft tournaments. They have World of Warcraft PvP tournaments.
They have Foo Fighters playing.
Yeah, they'll have a band that plays. They announce stuff.
Honestly, it doesn't really work in their favor though, that canceling it, because they don't really do anything at E3 or CES or anything.
No, Blizzard's always been their own. They do stuff at E3, they have a booth at E3.
Yeah, but they don't have. They're not going to be like, guys, look at Diablo 3. We just announced it at E3. Blah blah. They don't do that. No.
Blizzard's always been their own.
But honestly, they only have 3 games.
Yeah, so. And the way they release games, it's stupid for them to go to conventions all the time and be like, this is what is coming out from us, because it'll be 12 years before it actually comes out. Right. So I think this year with BlizzCon, because we were talking about this.
When is BlizzCon?
March? Usually in the... Yeah.
Or March? No, not March.
Spring into
April,
summer. Yeah. Spring into summer.
Yeah.
So. That convention season that always happens.
So if they had anything big to announce.
That's the thing. They've already announced the expansion pack for WoW. Mm-hmm. Diablo 3 we all know is coming. Mm-hmm. And StarCraft 2. We kind of already know. The next one is the Zerg campaign.
Yeah. So Heart of Storm, we know that.
Unless you're going to reveal the entire story over an entire day at BlizzCon, what's the point of having it?
I think yeah, that's exactly it. And I think what they want now, this is just a prediction for me, and we always seem to get these right. They're canceling BlizzCon because they're going to announce a console Diablo project at E3.
Maybe.
That's my prediction, because there was that thing, the rumor a couple weeks back about Diablo 3 on a home console project or something. So I'd be totally interested. I'd be totally okay with Microsoft and Sony coming out guys, Diablo's coming out on our system.
Yeah, but no, I honestly think they're canceling it this year because they just don't have anything.
That's the thing,
big to share.
And if they have something big like a console project to share, E3 would be a perfect place to do it, because
you're not gonna have a 3-day convention to go. Guess what?
Guys, here's an Xbox controller. Go play Diablo 3.
Now, what would be really funny if they did have BlizzCon and it was every day, kind of devoted to a different game. So it's you can play Diablo 3 on your consoles, and then the next day you can play World of Warcraft on your consoles. You can play StarCraft 2 on your console.
So StarCraft is 64.
Yeah, but that's what I mean.
Yeah,
they have no news, so why spend all that money?
I think it's okay. I think they should. Now, we might get flack for this. I don't think BlizzCon's needed at all.
It was the 1 year because they were announcing Diablo 3 and they were talking about Heart of the Swarm and they were talking about the next step.
Unless they have a 4th game they want to.
Yeah, and they were talking about that next step in World of Warcraft, and next year we'll hopefully get the announcement on their new MMO that they're working on.
Right.
So then BlizzCon could all of a sudden be something again.
Yeah.
Because that MMO is supposed to come out in 2014.
You want to save that kind of stuff.
Right.
You don't want to just bam, bam, bam. This is all we got.
So by next year, they'll have a new expansion pack to announce for World of Warcraft. They'll have a new expansion pack to announce for StarCraft 2. They'll probably have an expansion pack for Diablo 3. Like, tentative. Yeah. And hopefully news on their MMO. Yeah. So next year, honestly, I can see it happening.
The thing is, do they...
Do they need their own thing to do it?
No, they don't even need that.
But...
They could just...
They
make Blizzard.com.
They make money.
Push all that information in Battle.net.
Yeah, but they make money off that, so...
I think it's wise for them to switch to consoles. That's where everything is right now. Not that PC gaming is dead.
It depends on their games, because on like StarCraft, cannot be done on a console. No,
and especially the speed and the pace of whatever StarCraft is, you need to wear out all of your hotkeys, right?
And World of Warcraft.
World of Warcraft has been done so many times with a controller.
It can be done. It's just that it would be a very different experience.
I don't think.
And then the question is, do you allow people who play online on the PC to play with people on a console?
Well,
because there would be disadvantages to the console.
Right.
You don't have the hotkeys, and
you're limited to the button space. Is what it is.
So all of a sudden now you're splitting your subscriber base up even more.
And honestly, the only franchise of theirs that really takes advantage of consoles is Diablo.
And totally. I'm sitting there like you sit there and look at RuneScape. No, not RuneScape. I'm being an idiot. Torchlight. Torchlight works so well on a console.
Yeah.
And it's essentially Diablo.
And if it's designed, especially if it's still being developed for that matter.
Yeah.
They can always work around things.
Yeah. So. So I think Diablo's. But that's their only news this year. Mm-hmm. So it's useless to spend a lot of money to hold a big conference to go, guess what? Because then everybody's going to be pissed.
Because it's like, I could just play I could play in the seclusion of my own house rather than around people. Yeah.
Like, I don't care who you are, like, who you're going to meet.
Yeah. Like, I don't know.
Like, there's people at Blizzard that are really cool. Like, Chris Metzen, the guy who, like, he's been doing art forever. I love his artwork.
Yeah. But you can easily see him at other conferences.
Yeah, Samwise is cool, and you get to meet them, and you get to hear them talk. Mm-hmm. But, I don't know, they've kind of talked about everything already. Like, Mists of Pandaria, they've already talked about.
Unless there's something drastic they need to add to it or change to it. No, at this point in the game, like, the game's almost done. The beta's, or not beta, the expansion pack's almost done.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. Like, there's a lot of stuff that they can talk about, but why charge people and piss people off just to kind of hold a conference and talk about the same thing and charge people a lot of money?
It's good on their part. Maybe they did like a survey or something, because...
I'm not sure.
That seems like something that they would receive feedback for at the end of a conference. Like, what did you like this time? Nothing.
Yeah. See, and the last one had news. It's just that this one I feel that they'd be charging people a lot of money for nothing new.
And we really know that nothing really big is coming out of their pipelines. So.
And if it was, we'd have the BlizzCon would still be on.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, yeah.
So, no one really cares. BlizzCon's been canceled this year.
Well, the diehard fans.
You know, I'm a pretty big Blizzard fan.
No, I've seen some pretty big Blizzard fans.
And I don't know.
But you've never. I think the difference is that you've never been to one.
But
I think like the combination of being a huge Blizzard fan and
being able to go to those.
Yeah, like it's like I meet people there.
Yeah,
I meet not just famous people, but people I play with.
People you play with, which would be weird.
What? You're not a naked night elf?
You don't run around in your underwear all the time?
I mean, I totally don't do that too. Yeah.
Anywho.
Another... Capcom they have really bad copy editors, or whatever. I mean, we had their whole Okami thing a couple years back.
Yep.
With the IGN logo. They can't spell Revelations.
Well, that TION thing at the end of Shun's words always confuses me.
Yeah, I can't... you know why? It's because their word processor doesn't have the red underline when it says it's spelled wrong.
Yeah.
So if you're an early copy buyer of Resident Evil Revelations,
the U.S. version,
the American version of Revelations, you might get the one with the typo
on the side of
the box, the part that you put on top of your game case, and you can see it all the time.
Yeah, I was gonna it actually took me 5 seconds to see the I can see how someone could miss that.
It's easily missable. I mean, it's not as bad as the IGN one from Okami.
Yeah, but honestly, for me, seeing if that's your job,
you should be able, like, you should be on this. Like, there's enough stuff in that game that you should be able to go through all that stuff. Now I'm worried about the rest of the stuff in the game. I'm like, if
voice acting, there's voice acting. It's all good.
Yeah, there's text, there's subtitles, and then when you're reading notes, and then
it'll be like the subtitles on our videos on YouTube.
I like those. I don't know. I think that's ridiculous.
That made me laugh.
Like, this makes me want to work for Capcom more.
We should be your editors.
Please let us do this.
Just for the side of the box. Just for box art. We'll just edit your box art.
REVELAITIONS. That doesn't. That's. I like that.
Well, they flip the T in the I around.
Yeah,
that's all.
That's. It's so ridiculous.
Oops. But they dotted their I and they crossed their T. They just did it in the wrong order.
Yeah, they didn't do that right. I wonder how many other errors are in the game.
You know what? Honestly, it's probably flawless. But
I really don't know what I really want this game.
I do too, but $50 for a handheld is.
And you know what the ridiculous part is? Because the Revelations is on a 4 gig card, correct?
I believe so. Yes.
Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater.
Yes.
3D.
Yes.
Also on a 4 gig card.
But only $40.
Yes. I paid it off yesterday, and I was like, ooh, that's running away home. Because it's like
maybe more development. Who knows?
No. Snake Eater got totally redeveloped.
I know, but that like
the only difference is that they probably the voice acting that they already used for Snake Eater.
Maybe.
That's the only like difference because
And I was gonna say maybe
Kojima totally said, or he totally like went in and pulled that game apart and put it back together.
Maybe Konami's better with faster developing stuff, so it's not as.
I don't know. They're coming out at the same time.
Because Capcom's, I don't know. They've been lacking in the last little bit.
Yeah, that's.
Maybe they only had like 3 programmers and it took them forever, so it cost them a fortune.
Who knows? I mean, maybe the fact that it's a bigger game. I don't know. They said that Revelations was supposed to be 6.
Okay.
Yeah,
they worked it down to
their initial. No, 6, like Resident Evil 6.
Oh, okay.
Like, that was the story, the game, and everything was supposed to mean, like, whatever Resident Evil 6 is, it's now different, obviously.
Yeah.
But their plans were different after the Nintendo went up to them and be like, hey, you guys seem to know what you're doing. Apparently. They can't copy it, but...
They don't know how to write words right, but it's one heck of a game. I mean, we've both played the demo.
I love it.
Yeah.
And I'm at, like, 20 plays. No.
I played once.
No. I've got about 20 plays left or so. 19 plays left.
I played once. So
I turned it on.
29 plays left. You can play my plays if you want.
That's more. Okay. That's alright. It's almost up.
It is almost up.
It's February 7th, guys. So, I think it comes out the same day as the...
Kingdom of Amalur comes out the same day.
Oh, that's a big week. Because the Circle Pro is coming out too.
Yes.
Which probably not going to get.
Kingdom of Amalur.
I'm really excited for the... Oh, that's a game I've been playing, but I played like once of... It's the demo for the...
I'm excited.
Sonic... First, Mario and Sonic at the London Games 2012.
Yes, Mario and Sonic at the
London
Summer Olympic Games London 2012 or 2013 or 20 whatever.
I don't know.
2013, 2012.
It's not. It's a there's a demo of it.
Yes.
For you guys if you want to play it. But
I bought the ones for the Wii, the Summer and the Winter Olympic Games. The first one's in like the Beijing one and then the Vancouver one. Mm-hmm. That is all I will ever buy. Like.
Yeah. No.
Because they've even said. I've looked at stuff for the next games, and they're like, yeah, we've added like 3 new events.
Well, I've never owned them.
So for someone who's just buying them, I do suggest it. They are fun.
It's a good mini game.
Yes, like it's fun when you have friends over, you're running like the 100 meter. You all look like idiots, and you all feel really, really tired after. But
I really laugh at the first tagline they use when they advertise Mario and Sonic. It's like, we get to find out who's faster.
Mario can beat Sonic in a race.
I don't understand. I refuse to believe that.
I know. It makes 0 sense.
The hedgehog should be the fastest thing in the world.
I know. But
anyways,
they do. They're balanced differently. So.
But yeah, Revelations. Revelations.
Revelatons. I can't wait for Resident Evil Revelatons.
My pre-order on collector's edition.
Does it come with an art book where everything's drawn money too?
Everything's
upside down.
Everything's stickman.
Yep.
And a Jill sandwich.
This shouldn't really be news. But Notch has now said that Mojang is no longer an indie company.
Really?
Really? After...
How much $1 jillion did he make?
Well, let me see here. They reached a milestone the other day. They're almost at 5 million people who have actually bought Minecraft.
Now, if we times that by even the initial price...
They're bajillion. He's a bajillionaire now.
Bajillion. Did he retire?
His whole reason though is now that he actually has to. He has staff.
Yeah.
And he has to pay wages, and they actually have to make sustainable games. Like they can't just be like, let's make a game casually anymore.
Even though they're not. He's a self-publisher, isn't he?
Yes, he was.
Other than the Microsoft version.
Yes. But no, that's so. That's his entire reasoning now is that, yeah, you know, he actually has a staff and they have dates that they have to meet. Like, you know, they actually have
it just
things.
It just can't be them like, oh, we'll put this in there. Let's see if it works or not. We'll just keep throwing things at it.
But I think they can still kind of do that. They just have to have a certain part of it. The way they've been doing Minecraft is like, we're going to have these 3 bullet points in the game by this point. If we can fit anything else in by that point, we will.
Yeah.
So,
it just happens to be a lot.
Yeah.
Because questing's still not in there, is it?
I don't know. It's been a while since I've actually played Minecraft. So.
I don't think it is in there.
No.
Because I updated it last night and I didn't see anything particular. 1.1, yeah.
But yeah, so they're no longer an indie company, which...
That doesn't surprise me.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
What other indie companies are there now? What's that Jonathan Coulton one? Not Jonathan Coulton, Jonathan Blow one.
I don't know.
Is he working by himself now?
I don't know.
Still? Because Braid was his first thing.
Yes.
I know he's working on the other one, the first-person puzzle game. I'm super excited for whatever that is.
You know, I'm excited just because all these indie companies are starting off indie, but then they actually become companies.
But that's the big reason why we need indie companies.
And totally, because Mojang at the same time is not gonna start making like blockbuster games and spending bajillions of dollars
exactly.
making a game.
It's the things he won't sell out.
Yeah.
So.
And we need people like that to actually look at Minecraft. So simple. 5 million copies sold.
Exactly.
There's 20 million people playing it. 5 million copies sold.
And, you know, not to say that cons are bad, and he's got Minecon.
Yeah.
So.
He's already got his own convention.
That's
for
huge.
One game.
Yeah. Blizzard 3 games to do that.
Yeah. So they're not an indie company anymore, according to Notch. Which, yes, true. Very true.
I'm wondering, should they start putting in regulations of actual number regulations of who become when you reach this milestone, are you no longer an indie company? It's not because right now we're just throwing the word around like hipsters.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of the thing is like Notch says, once you have people working for you, and you actually have to maintain
bills to pay.
Yeah, you have bills to pay all of a sudden. I think at that point you are no longer indie.
Okay.
Once you're not scraping by the skin of your teeth,
yeah,
you're no longer an indie company. Yeah. You're no longer that underdog indie company.
Well, in that case, I think Minecraft or Mojang should have been in regular company maybe a couple months back.
Oh, totally.
When they released, I think when they released 1.0, they should have been regular, a normal company, no longer indie.
And and I'm sure in Notch's mind, that was the case.
Yeah, it's
as soon as Microsoft comes to you and goes, "We want to make your game on Xbox." And your game is going. And your game is going gold in, 3 months. As soon as all that kind of processes in your head, you're no longer an indie company.
Yeah, because when you start thinking I could just release this anytime.
Yeah.
No.
Because all of a sudden you've got all those set dates. So. Yeah, you don't really need regulations. You just actually need to think about it. All of a sudden a company, people that made Super Meat Boy, not really an indie company anymore. Your game is everywhere.
Yeah.
And you're making fortunes on it.
What is Jonathan Blow's company's name called? Because I think he's still kind of indie.
I think if you're kind of all by yourself and still not really making money.
Well, the thing is, the whole story about his Braid was that it was just him.
Yeah. He
was the only person that literally worked on the game, self-published. Well, not self-published, but he created the funds to say, hey Microsoft, hey PSN, hey Sony, we'll totally, I want to put on your thing, and he raised the money for that. Does he actually have a company name, or is it just?
I don't think so.
Oh. I think I like Jonathan Blow. Honestly, he inspires me to do things.
Braid was an interesting game.
I love Braid. when you say art in video games, that's totally one of the first games I think of. And then whatever the Shadow game was, Limbo. Whatever, Limbo. That's what I think of as well. Cool. I like that.
And you?
Alright, so the Street Fighter Cross Tekken, it's a good game. I played it, and I thoroughly enjoy it. The Sony versions are getting a wealth of exclusive content in terms of characters. They announced Cole at, I think, E3 that one year for whatever. Then they announced those little black and white cat things from Sony. And along with that, they have 2 new characters exclusive to the Sony platforms. We have Pac-Man and Mega Man. But not just any Mega Man.
No.
This is the original Mega Man.
From the cover.
The cover art of Mega Man. None of this little short blue bomber guy.
Yeah.
Not Rockman. Like actual fat dude.
He's really fat.
He's gained a little weight since.
Yep.
So I think it's really weird because Pac-Man is still Pac-Man.
Yeah, Pac-Man
he's still Pac-Man in the game.
Yeah.
But then there's a fat guy playing Mega Man.
Yeah, who's Mega Man. And
I appreciate the thought that's going into this game, and it's just making me want it a little bit more. But I understand Mega Man has had a hard couple weeks.
He's had a hard year, really.
A hard couple months.
Yeah.
He's lost a few battles.
Just a few.
So he deserves a win somehow.
Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom? No.
Mega Man X?
Mega Man Legends 3? No. Mega Man World? No. No. You start saying...
You should say... They should just call him Rockman again.
I was going to say, you start saying Mega or Rock around Capcom and people automatically just get fired.
So Mega Man is now a new... Mega Man and Pac-Man.
Yes, they're new characters.
Pac-Man's just not Pac-Man though. He's on top of a Mokujin.
Yes. Which,
if you play Tekken, he's the random character slot thing, but he's got his own moves now. So.
I think that's a.
It's a good thing.
It's a good thing for Mega Man because honestly, otherwise you'd have a guy with really short arms and really stubby legs trying to.
Yeah, and they balanced Pac-Man properly, which leads me to question the other two, those little cat guys from Sony. I don't understand how those guys work.
They'll play like Ice Climbers.
No, it's 2 separate characters.
Oh, is it 2 I thought they played at the same time.
No. That means it's 3 on 2.
Yeah, I know.
No. They're each individual. So, I don't understand how that works. It's funny because side news is because they're asked about exclusive characters on the Xbox.
Yeah.
And Microsoft didn't get back to them in time for development.
Yes.
So. I mean, I would have totally loved to see. Well, not me, but I would have loved to see some sort of like Marcus Phoenix character.
Yep.
Because Cole's in there. Cole is totally similar in terms of brooding.
Maybe when the Tekken X Street Fighter comes out, then you'll have your...
Yeah, okay, so probably some Halo-y, some Master Chief stuff.
Get Master Chief and...
maybe even Dead or Alive. Oh, is that Namco? Dead or Alive? No, that's Tecmo.
That's...
Tecmo.
Yeah.
Tecmo. It's different genre.
But I mean, then you can start getting your Xbox guys maybe in that game. Maybe. I don't know. But Xbox just seems to be slow on the uptake for everything.
Well, no, I think it's just they're slow on their exclusivity stuff.
Yeah.
Because we see stuff released on their platform too, but there's only you can play as Kratos on Mortal Kombat only on PSN or PS3, and same thing. The Xbox one didn't get anywhere exclusive.
Yeah. What's really funny though is because Xbox's rules is that you can't PlayStation can't have a game release that doesn't have the same information on the Xbox disc. So all of these characters will be like Capcom, Mega Man and
Pac-Man.
Pac-Man can obviously be on both.
Yeah, but just not the 3 Sony characters.
But your Sony characters, you're gonna have to. There'll be like a downloadable content code thing in your.
No, I think it's gonna be on the disc. Because it happened with Mortal Kombat.
Was it on the disc?
Yeah.
That's tricky.
It's on. It was
I wonder
on
how
the
they got around that.
I don't know.
Because Xbox is finicky about that one. No. Microsoft's kind of dumb.
And Mortal Kombat sold 100 zillions.
I know. I'm kind of waiting. I would like to get it.
Debating if I'm gonna get on the Vita, because it just got announced there. I've never been a huge Mortal Kombat fan, anyways. But I know my friend's gonna get it, and he's not gonna get UMVC3. I still will. I'm on the fence about getting UNVC 3. At one point, I would love to have handheld Marvel, but at the same time, no one's gonna play with me.
Yeah, that kind of.
Like I still play Marvel vs. Capcom 3,
yeah.
Just not as much as I used to.
Yeah.
Like I play once a 2 or 3 weeks. I always get the urge to play as Dante. Some of those people that with Dante combos.
No, it's not.
Like the problem with Dante is that his combos never end. And now with Ultimate version, you can now this is a little bit technical, but the Ultimate version you can actually cancel everything into an X factor, which then resets your damage, so you can continue your combos again into an Ultra. So you see people with like Deadpool that do their air combos, knock guys to the ground. The guy's kind of popped up, and he still does the whatever his whatever the super or hyper.
Yep.
X Factors does the hyper again while he's still in the air, and then he just does a combo again.
I would scream in frustration.
It's really cool to look at.
It's really cool to watch.
Just not to be on the end of it.
You just don't, yeah.
Because the combo strings don't end.
Ugh.
So that's one thing I don't really feel like I want to be playing online when it comes to the UMVC, even on the PS or the Vita.
PS Vita.
So, I don't know. Exclusive characters are up and weird.
Yeah, and that Mega Man guy looks just.
I'm super excited to see what he actually plays like, because the trailer that they released didn't really show a lot of him.
He's got an ice power and he does have a charge beam, so he
is Mega Man. He does Mega Man-y things.
He just does not look like your.
Or sound like him.
Yeah, he just does not look or sound like your classic Mega Man X anything. Like any Mega Man you kind of know, unless you look at the covers.
Which, honestly, a lot of people have forgotten what the covers look like.
Yep.
I think that's weird for me. That's not like a selling. Pac-Man is honestly my selling point.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool character.
Like Pac-Man would be a great character because he's done nothing other than eat pellets
forever.
Oh, and he's had a racing game, I guess.
Yeah.
Everyone's got a racing game. We need a battle roll racing
game.
Just 3 characters.
Yep. Just us with big heads.
Okay. All right.
Remember last year how the government of California was going after video games for their rating systems and how evil video games were?
I know. Those
and the
Jack Johnson.
Yes, and the ESA stepped up and kind of got in front, and they were backed by everybody. Mm-hmm. And they, duked it out in court, and California lost. We all remember this. We were watching with anticipation to see what would happen. Either way, California lost, and because of that, they have to pay the lawyers' fees for the ESA.
I appreciate this.
Well, this went on for quite a while, this whole fighting thing. Well, the lawyers' fees came to $950,000, which the state of California now owes to the ESA.
Fuck California.
And California's already been having budget problems. Because tourism's down and all that other stuff.
Yeah, that's senator problem.
This is, And this is all you need now is owing almost $1 million to the video game industry that you were trying to take down.
I wonder how they're going to do that.
Well, that's the funny thing is they still have other money that they owe to the ESA for other lawsuits that they were defeated in. So the total number is actually $1,327,000 that California owes to the ESA.
Okay, sure. I can't imagine owing that much to a video game or anybody.
I was going to say, I can't imagine owing
especially if it's a government.
Yeah.
Especially a government, no less. Shouldn't there be regulations in place? Where it's you can't, just don't go over this amount of budget. Budgets!
Yeah.
Isn't there a budget for this kind of stuff?
Well, yes, now you're in the red. Because they thought they'd win.
I guess, but it's like playing poker. You have to fold at some point. And they didn't have a fold button.
No, they kept bluffing all the way to the end.
Your 2 and 3 won't get you anywhere.
But that just made me laugh. And it makes me happier now because the ESA dropped their SOPA support.
Yeah.
Because otherwise this would kind of be like you're giving now $1 million to a company that's trying to enact online stop
censorship.
And now they've they've taken their name out of that, so it's like, yes!
Oh.
Look, here's an extra $1 million they can spend on, like, E3.
Oh man, that's gonna be so delicious. You also got the money. In time.
Yeah. But what really is funny is it's taxpayer money. Like,
not a good time to live in California, guys.
no.
Well, it's probably super cheap.
Hmm?
Probably super cheap.
What?
Just, living in there. If you're moving there now.
Oh yeah, you could probably get really good. Well, you can get housing prices pretty good anywhere in the States right now.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Other than New York, we could pretty much
Here's $5.
we could own 5 houses in some states.
I love owning more than one house.
Yeah, you can sleep in a different one every night. Just buy like 7 next to each other.
Yay.
Name them Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
No, but it have to be the circle because then once Saturday comes along, you gotta move all the way to Sunday.
Just buy a whole block.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
1, 2. Buy one for every day of the month.
And have 12 blocks.
But either way, I thought that was just pretty. That was pretty funny.
Yeah, I enjoy that.
So.
Shall we? Oh, I've got one more small thing, and then we can get into the big things.
Yep.
So if Twisted Metal wasn't a big enough purchase for you already with the digital copy of Twisted Metal Black, you also get a downloadable code for Sweet Tooth in the Starhawk game when that one comes out. I think that's huge.
That's pretty cool. If you know you're getting both.
I don't like Twisted Metal, but for every person that this is my personal rule. Every time I say I don't like something, there's another 5 people who will relish it.
Yep.
So there you can get your Sweet Tooth on in Starhawk, and there's some artwork for him, and he does look really really badass. He's got like blue flames all across him. He kind of looks like Ghost Rider, but with blue.
With blue flames.
And he's flying a jet.
And he's a clown.
And he's a clown, so he's kind of gonna go crazy. And I played Starhawk, so I can tell you that it's good.
Yeah, you enjoyed that game.
I really liked it. I don't think I'll get it day one, but it's one of those games to look out for.
Yep.
Because I have too many other games to play anyway. Some mini micro news for your Starhawkers and your Twisted Metalers. I don't know. My friend really really wants it. I'm really interested to see what these developers do with the Vita. These Sony developers.
Yes.
In particular, because David Jaffe loves Sony. The Santa Monica Studios loves the Vita, like Sony. And Resistance, not Ted Nugent, Ted Price, I think, of Insomniac Games, says they're dropping Resistance now.
Yes,
They're not doing any more Resistance. They're going to be doing other things. And honestly, I really want to see more about Overstrike. We've heard nothing since E3. Please make that game a thing. So, what would you think about Resistance on other things now? Well, I mean, this cross Sony promotion thing, I really like it.
It's cool, and I mean, as long as you're not interfering with the story of a game, or like Prince of Persia, the new Prince of Persia, the cel-shaded one. Once you beat it and all that stuff, you got to play with other skins.
Yeah.
That's cool. Like that's always fun.
Like the Batman stuff too.
Yeah.
Because you get to play as animated Batman.
Yeah, you can play as animated Batman, Batman Beyond, all that stuff. So.
Fat Batman.
Fat Batman.
Oh, it's the worst skin ever. I like this stuff. I'm super excited to see what.
But yeah, like, and I mean, in combat, like certain games, totally it works. It's as soon as you start taking like crossing Twisted Metal and Uncharted, that's where you're crossing a line.
What's that fight title?
Title fight. My one friend's really stoked for that game.
I don't even know what it is, and I'm not even excited for it.
He's like, he's pretty much imagining like a Super Smash Bros. Game, but with his Sony character, and I mean, he's a huge Sony fanboy. So that's why he's looking forward to it, and I'm like, but they don't go together at all.
Okay, they can go together, just we don't know how yet.
I still don't think half of them can go together. Like, seeing Nathan Drake and Ratchet and Clank fighting each other, fighting Sweet Tooth, does not compute in my head.
No, it doesn't make any sense in my head either.
Like, all the characters that they throw into Super Smash Bros. Make sense to me.
The most far-fetched one is Snake.
And even, like I said before, Snake's always kind of had fun. Like, Konami's always had fun with Snake.
He's always been in other things, too, so...
Yeah.
He's been in other things.
So, Snake, yes, he's on the line, but he's still there.
Yeah.
It's if all of a sudden they're like, let's add Duke Nukem Even Duke Nukem could almost work in a
Okay.
Super Smash Bros. Game.
Yeah, you know
Because
what?
he's crazy enough. But now you throw in, let's say, like, they signed a deal with Microsoft, and all of a sudden Marcus Phoenix is in this game. In Super Smash Bros., that would not work.
I don't understand those weird cross-game promotion things.
Like, that would not work for me.
No, I don't. I'd have to draw the line there.
But Nintendo's characters all kind of...
They're all cartoony anyways.
They fit together
Yeah.
well enough. Whereas Sony's characters
They don't.
just don't.
They don't match. I think there's that one game that they put them all in the same one. What was it called?
The Ratchet and Clank with the...
No, the moves. Heroes on the Move.
Yeah.
That was one with Sly, Ratchet, and I don't know.
But those characters fit.
Yeah,
They go together.
So that worked out well, even though it didn't sell too well.
Yeah. But that's like they should honestly take they should take Spyro, who hasn't really done all that well in the last however long, even with that new platform thingy game.
I kind of want it.
It's interesting, but...
I won't pay $70 for it.
No. But take Spyro and take Crash Bandicoot and take all those kind of like mascot characters from the 90s
Yeah.
and throw them in a game together.
I'd totally be okay with that.
That would be cool. Because mascot characters work. But as soon as you start putting like Kratos and...
Okay, so maybe Kratos, Sweet Tooth, maybe some characters from Warhawk / Starhawk,
Sure.
and Mortal Kombat characters.
But Mortal Kombat's not Sony, that's
So
the thing.
not Mortal Kombat characters. I don't know what other violent games do they have, like super violent games.
Take one of the alien things from Resistance and throw it in there. For
Chimeras?
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chimeras.
Like that's what I mean. Like certain Sony properties.
They don't have enough, is the thing.
No, certain Sony properties go together.
And that's what that's what they tried to do with Heroes on the Move.
Yes.
And you know, I think that would be a good party game.
Totally. But
Which is kind of what Smash Brothers is.
yeah, and that's what I mean. Like Smash Bros. The only thing is all those characters can kind of fit together because,
I don't know.
like to me, as soon as the first one came out, all of a sudden Mario and Link could fight. And you're like, oh man, who's gonna win?
Who's the bestest?
Because honestly, you can't think of a scenario like you can think of a scenario where both of them can win. Like if you just thought about it in your head before those games even came out, right?
Although I will have to say, Link in Soul Calibur was kind of weird.
Yeah, that was odd.
Here's a bomb. What? Arrows.
But then all of a sudden you take, like, let's say Nathan Drake versus Kratos. As cool as Nathan Drake is,
And as bad kicking ass as Kratos is.
Kratos is gonna win.
Yeah, no, Nathan's not gonna.
No.
He's not gonna word himself out of this.
No, like there's no way he can sweet talk his way out, shoot his way out, or do any like Kratos produce dead.
Yeah. He'll rip him in half.
I think that's the advantage that Nintendo's Super Smash Bros. Has is that
They don't.
all those characters, you don't know who would actually win if you put them.
And they don't have any defining features that makes them better than the other.
Yeah.
Because they all are.
Super.
They're all super in their way, and they're like levelish.
Yeah.
Whereas, Kratos is a little bit more fantastical.
Yeah. Well, he's a god.
Was.
Yes.
Was.
But
Don't know
like-
where he is.
But like that's what I mean. Like
And Nathan Drake is definitely not a god.
no, he's just
He's awesome.
he's awesome, but he does not have that power set. That's like
He
putting
doesn't even have a power.
that's like putting Magneto up against Jubilee. It's just not fair. And that's why X-Men fighting games never really work all that well either.
Hey man, Children of the Atom was awesome. That started everything.
I have a really bad X-Men fighting game over there.
Children of the Atom was awesome.
I have a really bad one.
I like that one.
Either way, should we get into
Yeah.
newsy news?
News?
Do you like the Neo
A
Geo?
little bit.
All of its lovely arcade games that it always produced for everybody to play?
I loved all of those.
Well, now they're trying to bring the portable Neo Geo back.
They should totally do that. If anything is, this is a good time if any. Well, actually, with the onset of 3DS and Vita, probably not.
I was just gonna say that's the thing is we've already got 2 handhelds.
Which are capable of doing
Everything the Neo Geo could probably do.
And a lot of the stuff that a lot of the Neo Geo games are already on PSN, which you can download.
I was just gonna say, and Neo Geo is arcade games. It always has been, which was
Final
cool
Fight.
when Neo Geo came out.
What would you play though if this came out? Because the only thing that I can think of is Metal Slug and Final Fight.
But agreed. But both of those you could do on a
On
3DS or a PlayStation
you
Vita.
can even play some of them on the Game Boy Advance.
That's yeah, like that's what I mean. Unless Neo Geo's going to start coming out with new games,
No, they're not going to.
then why come
think-
out with a new system?
I think because they might have seen the Super Boy
Maybe.
and then said, hey, we could totally do that, except it'll be more official.
Yay!
It does look cool.
It looks gorgeous.
It looks amazing. It's just, are all those games preloaded onto the thing? Because if it is, and it's
ships with 20 Neo Geo classics built in.
is it expansion? Like, do they put the cards into it for more, or is it just that's it? Because if that's just it, and it's like
It's
over.
got 2 gigabytes of internal storage and ships with 20 Neo Geo classic games.
If it's anything more than $100, it's probably not worth it.
New. Like this is like almost the Atari flashbacks
Yeah.
come out where they have the built-in Atari games and it's like $40. That's cool because it's retro and it's fun. Same thing with this.
Yeah, but this one, it looks like they put a little time to the hardware too.
It does, so like that's the thing, like what, and maybe they just made it look like they've put time into the hardware, right?
Mm.
Like they made it look flashier than it actually is. Like that's the tough thing to say because Art of Fighting's already on here, Metal Slug's on here, Samurai Showdown's on here, King of Fighters 94 is on here. What else do you need from Neo Geo?
Random RPG.
I still think whoever buys like Power Gems, man, I want Power Gems.
Power Gems would be cool.
Like someone has to go and buy all those Dreamcast properties that have disappeared. And bring
Some of them
back.
survived.
Some of them have, but there's a lot of them that just like Fatal Frame's coming out for the 3DS.
Yeah, I saw that.
Which is cool because Fatal Frame was on the
Yeah, it's
Dreamcast.
one of the original horror games.
Yeah,
Same thing.
and no one played it because
Well, it's still coming back. It's got that niche audience. They've realized that.
I'm excited for it. I played it on the Dreamcast.
I played it.
We played it in Japanese on the
I played it on the PS2. I played Fatal Frame on the PS2.
Yeah. But Power Gems, I have not seen Power Gems in forever, and I used to love that game.
Yeah, that's one of the original mass brawlers.
Well, and with that 3D...
Perspective thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the 2.5, perspective room kind of, you could break a bunch of objects and
Yeah.
fight. And I loved that game, and then there was the one guy who was literally a Super Saiyan. Like, there was no way, there was no ifs, ands, or buts about it. He had black, spiky hair that went out this way, and then when he got all the Power Gems, it went gold and spiky.
Yeah, if you live under a rock and don't want to buy a 3DS or Vita.
I was gonna say, like, if this comes out at a cheaper price point, like $60, even $100, you're gonna get parents buying it because, you know,
They won't know the difference.
they won't know the difference, and it's the cheaper price point. So, unfortunately, their kid is going to be playing
4.3-inch LCD screen.
Yeah. 2 gigabytes memory, SD card, slot on the side, and comes preloaded with classic games.
Now, is this a thing that's already coming out, or are you going to be interested in it? Because
I think this is you might be. Would you be interested in it?
Well, if they already have a prototype working.
But it's coming out in Japan,
Mm-hmm.
so they're not sure if it's coming out here.
Who knows?
So that's the thing. Like
Yeah, Japan's easier for them to.
if you
release
can
weirdly.
keep, I don't know, like Neo Geo, if they develop games, why not just develop games for the 2 handhelds that are already out?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like stick to game development. I'm sorry, Neo Geo, but you guys kind of dropped out a long time ago.
Yeah, you sold your properties. There's
Yeah,
the reason.
like-
Why, there's the reason why you don't have anything anymore.
You dropped out a while ago, so you're done.
Mhm.
That's the rest of the stuff other than my TV stuff is rumors and
Yeah. We'll-
next gen consoles.
Yeah, that's mine too.
Okay,
Do you want to introduce the Nintendo one or do Xbox?
let's do Xbox quick.
Okay.
Because it's
Okay.
less news.
Yeah. Okay, so earlier this week, I think it was Famitsu who said they would have the exclusive dive on the next Xbox platform
Mm-hmm.
for their March issue, which comes out. They do weird subscription things, which their March issue comes out in January.
Yep.
But they said they would have the scoop on the next Xbox console,
Right.
and they have a lot of weird features that they're
Some
supposedly like weird things that shouldn't exist, but they said they will happen.
Which I'm still leery of all of these rumors.
I think the biggest one is the 2 biggest ones. The Blu-ray one,
Yes.
which
and
it will be shipping with a Bluray
built-in.
player, and the whole
anti-used game mechanic built in.
I like that I think the anti-used game mechanic is more feasible.
It is, but to me, I don't know. Once again, used games.
I don't have a huge problem with used games.
I still like used games from a standpoint of, honestly, like, we have played bad games.
Yeah, I have bad games.
I own bad games, but there's a lot of times where I've bought used games that are bad. That is why they're in the $5 bin. Like, that is why Duke Nukem is $5 wherever you go.
Mm-hmm. So...
And then what are you supposed to, like, you buy a bad game.
Okay, so...
What do?
Well, you can't use it. The best thing you can use it for is a beverage coaster.
Well, yeah, you play Frisbee, and then you keep the case as, like, an extra case in case something else breaks.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of my thing is...
What kind of... anti-used game... So what would they be like, your game is used?
And yeah, how would they know?
And how would they know?
Yeah.
What would they do?
Yeah. Yeah.
The thing is, how would you...
Here's my other thing.
How would you govern something like that?
And here's my other thing, is I know, and it's even in books. You're not actually allowed to lend out the book without someone's permission.
Mm-hmm.
Like the permission of the publisher. I don't know how many times I've lent out books.
Or CDs. Or
yeah.
movies.
Like, that's the thing. I own a physical copy of whatever it is.
It's the whole...
Here, friend, enjoy this.
It's the whole TOS stuff, right?
Yeah. Which is starting to get to me because...
It's bothering me.
I own this property.
Like, when the PSP, like, homebrew scene, like, exploded in, like, 2007 or something like that, like, I was all over that.
Yeah.
And then I just got really tired and lazy and didn't keep up with it.
Right.
And if you go, for those who don't, know this, the history of this, the Sony PSP boards, like, on the Sony, did you know about this?
Yeah.
Like, the whole, okay, so, the official Sony boards was the one place you could find out about these whole, like, the homebrew stuff and the whole hacking and downloading games and stuff like that. And that was all, okay. And then Sony brought down the ban hammer and said, you guys can't do that.
Right.
And then they started banning, like, half the population of these homebrewers.
Yeah.
And it was because, it was breaking their TOS. But the problem is, you own this property. You should be able to do anything you want. If I want to poo on your console, I should be able to do it.
Exactly.
It's my own money that I gave you. Now, and so when they say, like, oh, you can't do that to it, I'm like, so can I have my money back then? No. I'm like...
So am I renting this console for, like,
yeah.
one-time rental payment?
Like, how much of this do I own?
That's what I mean. Like, that's what bugs me is I bought physical... Like, and digital, I can totally understand. Mm-hmm. You cannot sell a digital game back...
Yeah.
To Steam for a like half price, and then they'll sell a used digital game. Mm-hmm. But if I actually, and the other thing about digital games is I'm already getting them cheap.
Yeah.
Most of the time. Well, for me, I always do. I wait till they're on sale. Yeah. Like, I do not buy digital games unless they are on sale.
Unless it's Mass. For me, it's Mass Effect.
See, and I'm getting that for my Xbox.
Yeah.
So, but for me, like, I own all of those games over there. And all of the ones...
I own this.
Yes, all of the ones upstairs.
I should be able to modify my OS.
But that's like even saying we can't take our, PlayStations to someone else's house.
Yeah.
Like, to me, the whole TOS thing's dumb. And used games, for me, like I've said before,
like,
that's what's got me into a lot of series when I was younger. Because you get your allowance, or you mow lawns. And you get
hard for this.
You get your money, and you only have like $30. Because as a kid, you can't mow that many lawns, and in my experience, allowances aren't always huge. Mm-hmm. So.
And back then, games cost a lot of money. I remember buying like GoldenEye for like $99.
No, I know, but it's like even action figures are like $20 now. So you go to buy like a toy, or you can buy a game. You go to the the video game store, like EB Games or something, and you're like, oh man. This game's $20 because it is used.
Did you read about that story? Now this ties in a little bit. The story about Activision, like slamming the ban hammer down on the guy who was modifying the Skylanders figures. Okay, so what happened was the guy figured out how the
thing scanned it?
The area whatever code is.
Yep.
So I was like, okay, so he started modifying the characters, like the data on them to make some awesome characters, and everyone's all like, cool, that's pretty cool, except Activision's all like, no, stop. And I'm like, huh? How does... but he paid for those figures. He paid like $20 for a pack of those figures.
Yeah, so are they saying,
you can't modify those characters.
So are they saying I can't, paint my action figures?
I guess not.
If I go out and buy a Spider-Man action figure, I cannot paint him?
You can't play Warhammer.
Why not?
Because you have to paint your Warhammer figures to make them look cool. But you can't modify them.
What if I wanted to paint all my orcs pink?
I don't think they have I think that's the different problem.
That's a completely different issue, but
Activision's all like, you can't change the data on the figures and blah, 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 blah. I'm like...
But you have them.
Yeah, like, you paid...
And isn't that game single player?
Yes.
So what does it matter?
No, I think it's multiplayer. Even if it's multiplayer, I don't care.
Like,
you should be able to... If he figured out how to change the data, I'd give him the benefit of the doubt and be like, okay.
Like, I understand on games...
With multiplayer components.
With multiplayer components, like if you're playing a first-person shooter game, let's just say Battlefield 3, if you somehow figure out how to get into the data on your system...
Yeah, and give you...
And make it so every character, like every shot you take automatically makes it a headshot.
Yeah, or even just like automatically unlocks everything for you.
Yes. I can see that as a problem.
Yeah.
That to me is an issue, but actually modifying things that you own... Like if I want to buy a game and scratch the disc up all I want,
Or like ripping a sticker off of an old SNES cartridge.
Now here's my thing. If we're renting these games from them for $60 flat fee, if my disc gets scratched, should they not replace it?
They do that. There's the whole warranty in the back of the manual saying.
Oh, but the warranty only lasts a year. I'm renting this game for life.
That's true. I think they should.
I think they...
we need to be lawyers so we can read.
Actually go through the TOS stuff.
I think that's... companies are getting way too strict on this whole, like, we own this game / you own this game as well. I'm like,
because that's my thing with Xbox doing what they're doing. Like, if this is actually something, is, let's say I get Gears of War 12, on the next Xbox, and you don't want to get Gears of War 12, but I go, oh, you should try it out.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I think...
How are you going to get people to actually, like, word of mouth, and actually, like...
I think they're trying and leverage the whole demo thing, maybe, then.
Yeah, but a demo's only...
And you can only play them 30 times on the Nintendo 3DS.
And a demo works for certain stuff, but honestly, if my friend owns a game that I kind of want to try... Or
the fact that I've done this, here, you can borrow it.
Right.
I do that all the time.
I know.
So...
That's what I mean.
I borrow my friends' games, they borrow mine, I don't care.
Like, that's what I mean, like...
And honestly, the way that they're doing it now works, because the whole DLC stuff, it's like...
Totally.
New DLC, there you go. Because that's what I told my friend when he was borrowing my Batman, like, you can't play with Catwoman.
Right.
And he's like, oh, well, alright, I guess that makes sense. Yeah. So...
Yeah.
They should just keep doing that.
And that I'm still...
That's the most elegant way to do it.
And I'm still iffy on certain parts.
Without, harming the people who still want to play the game.
I still think that if you're going to take something out and put an online pass in, the online pass should just be extra fun stuff. That, yes, it's worth $10 of DLC stuff, but you get it because you bought the game full price. Timbits!
That reminded me of something that's actually really recent. With the PlayStation Vita, Hot Shots Golf 6.
Yep.
You need an online pass.
Oh.
You get it if you get the game, the physical game.
Right.
But when you buy, things digital, you need to get the pass separate.
Oh.
So when you buy it on the PSN store,
right,
you need to buy the game, and then you can buy the online pass, which ends up being more than the physical price because it's cheaper on the digital run, right? But the online pass is still like $6. I'm like, what the hell? Like, I'm not gonna get Hot Shot 6. It's not on my radar.
Yeah.
But the fact that it costs more, the digital version, to have the full experience as the retail copy.
They'll learn.
That flabbergasts me a little.
Yeah, I don't know how this whole anti thing, and then the Blu-ray thing.
That's another big one.
To me, I don't quite understand.
If it's true, it's probably the world's best kept secret until now.
Yeah, because just Sony
would totally leak that, or someone from Sony would be like,
"Oops."
Investors meeting, oops.
Yeah. Did we drop that paper in everybody's file? Oh.
Did SEC everyone in the world in this email?
Yeah.
So, rumor is that the next generation Xbox will be Blu-ray powered.
Yeah.
Blu-ray powered for its CD content. Which, it's a logical step forward,
yes.
Don't get me wrong, because,
having a bigger disc capacity is a logical step forward.
Yeah.
Having a disc player from your competing system...
Unfortunately, no.
...is not logical.
So, now if they had only put the HD DVD drive in the Xbox 360 in the first place,
right,
wouldn't have this problem.
Right.
But, Microsoft is all like, we don't need that.
See, now,
so
here's your other thing, is you could still use the HD DVD technology
to
put your games on.
No, they can't use that because all those factories that manufacture those discs and the drives for that gone.
I know, but you can still bring all that crap back for your system.
They should. You'd think so.
So that they have their own, and not to say that you release movies in HD DVD. That's dumb. Like you've already got Blu-ray, but just so their games have a higher capacity disc.
I think that would end up costing more. But I don't know. The whole developmental technology cost is just weird.
Because that's what I mean. Like the HD DVDs, all the technology's built.
Yep.
So you wouldn't have to spend money on that.
Is it Hitachi that owns the?
I'm not sure.
Rights to HD DVD? Who owns rights?
I forgot.
Because
that's a long time ago.
It's a very long time ago. Toshiba, I think it is. No. Wait.
No.
I'm just throwing out names now.
I don't know.
One of those Japanese people, not Sony.
But to me, like, the technology's already there.
I don't know.
Throw it into your system. Make your games on HD DVDs.
I think if they do that, isn't that just an admittance to the whole? We kind of screwed up. We should have done this in the first place.
I'm not sure because.
Like, do you think Microsoft would have enough pride to swallow to be like, sorry?
Oh, I'm sure.
I don't know, man.
Because to me, if you put a Blu-ray in.
That's equally like.
Yeah.
You're taking. There's no winning situation.
Because like we talked about, yes, you need a bigger capacity on your disc.
Yeah.
But Microsoft should come up with their own format, and the cheapest way to do that is literally to take HD DVDs and stick them into your system.
Or if you're not going to do that, sign for a Blu-ray. But would you rather sign for a Blu-ray contract and fund Sony on their next project?
Exactly. All you're doing if you're doing that is funding PlayStation 4.
The next gen and the PlayStation anything.
Yeah.
And Sony in general.
Like you're just feeding your competition money. So to me, and honestly, HD DVDs probably really cheap to buy.
Nah.
The tech
anyways, like all the
like the trademarks and all that stuff. And then you can rebrand it.
They should totally rebrand it.
Like just put the technology in.
Xbox HD.
Yeah, but just be like
Xbox
discs. Like only for Xbox. And
only
then they're
for
green.
Xbox 720.
Yeah, and then they're green. And then no one has to know that it's actually an HD DVD player inside.
I don't know if they did that. I think they would come to a lot of speculation of like where do they get this technology from? So
they magically R&D'd it. Come on now.
Microsoft doesn't magic. Come on.
That's
Apple.
Magical R&D.
That's Apple. Eat it.
Can you imagine if Microsoft and Apple teamed up?
Oh wait, you're serious for a second. You kidding? Apple already teamed up with Sony. They did. You haven't played MGS4 yet. Mm-hmm. So, like in MGS4, you actually get an iPod, a classic iPod to play music off of, and it doesn't stop there. Otacon has a MacBook Pro. When he's like in a vehicle and he's typing whatever.
That's just product placement.
And then when he's like actually at their home base, he has an iMac.
Oh, product placement in games.
So
my favorite thing is like television shows that use Mac computers.
And they put the different.
They put a different sticker right there.
Or they'll just cover it up with like a plain.
It's like
plain
gray sticker,
but But when you look at it in an off angle, you notice that they're still using a MacBook.
There is no other laptop that looks like this. I'm sorry, from any angle.
Soon, Ultrabooks.
Yeah. And the other rumor coming out of this is 6 times more power from the Xbox 360.
Oh, that's.
Do you think that's enough juice?
No.
Like, does that 6 times more power warrant another system?
Yes, but...
Or do you think you should wait till you have 10 times as much power?
The problem...
And what exactly is power?
Now, exactly, that's where... Well, the biggest leap for gaming so far was PS2 era and Xbox era to the current generation that we have now.
Yes.
And honestly, I can't see anything past what we have now.
Neither can I.
It's just going to get better looking.
Yes.
But I think it's one of those things I can't imagine yet. Like, what would it be?
That's why I kind of like Nintendo's development on their consoles. Because
they're not limited.
But and with the Wii, they were like, okay, everybody's doing graphics. Let's concentrate on something else.
Exactly.
And now they're like, okay, graphics are getting to a point where we can do it for cheap, but let's keep doing something different, because if we just keep improving graphics, what's the difference between all 3 systems?
Yeah, because it's going to be the whole joke of they're going to plug the system into your head and weird, like 4 or 5D things. And
once it gets to a certain point, I gotta stop playing games.
Because there is literally, there's been a study of how people perceive video games and real life, and there's always going to be that asymptote of, you can always tell that that's a video game, or you can always tell that that's like a digital thing.
Yeah, and as soon as, like, that's what my friend and I have talked about this on a constant, even since, like, the old GoldenEye days. Mm-hmm. As soon as humans start looking like humans in a game, and I have to shoot them, I'm going to have a problem.
Mm-hmm. I can see that.
Like, like, as soon as they're that super realistic.
But I don't think you'll ever find that. You'll never get into that problem, though.
I don't think ever...
Our human brains, science things here.
Yes.
Your brain will always perceive something as a digital image, if it's a digital image. Like, you know those, like, compare this Gran Turismo 5 car to this real-life car, and, like, game. You can always tell. Like,
but do you think it'll come to a point where all of a sudden games will actually look like a movie? Like, it'll look like...
No, it will never be that way. They'll try as hard as they can, and it will look really, really pretty. But it will never be that... Like, the way my brain thinks of it, and human brains think of it, we will never see things as real as it. Like, video games will never cross that boundary into real life.
And I mean, that's like watching a movie. A lot of people... Like, I can watch a movie where people get shot, and you see a lot of blood. There's a lot of people that can't.
What do you mean? Like, they can't see that?
Well, they can see it, but they get really, like, disgusted by it or sick. But, like, someone gets shot in a movie, and you actually, like, if the people are trying to be realistic about it, it's graphic.
Yeah.
Getting shot is not a nice thing. Like, TV makes it out to be, right?
Well, that's another thing that's, like, you have to accommodate for all these different variables in programming, and the more complex you make this, the more time it takes for people to make video games.
And the more pricey they
get. And the more, the developmental costs go up, I just honestly don't think it's ready, we're ready for another generation of consoles yet. We're not ready for it. We don't, because honestly there's nothing we know about this, we can't see into the future yet, but as far as I can see things right now, I like things the way they are. Just make things nice looking.
Yeah.
Just make things nicer looking. Future Tony will worry about that.
To me right now, like, Nintendo's doing it properly.
And I really like what Nintendo's doing. They're innovating, and rather than just making things look that much extra shinier.
Yeah, because that's... You had your PlayStation to your PlayStation 2, where things went from that really weird pixelated graphic thing on the PlayStation to actually looking like, forms on the PS2, and then you get to the PS3 where, it looks nice. Like, really nice.
Yeah, but you're...
But that's, like, graphics-wise, to me, I'm as far as I need to go.
Yeah. We're not...
So...
the human brain is not ready for whatever it is.
So unless, like, you're going to make it so your game can have 20 billion hours of gameplay and you just need that disc to hold that stuff and the system to do that, like...
And that's fine. But as far as making things more powerful...
Yeah.
I can't see that yet. I don't... And then that's one of the things that's like 3D in movies was a huge like, well, why would I want to watch movies in 3D?
Yeah. Or
play games in 3D. And now I can see that's a thing. So whatever comes out of E3 this year, I think is a defining whatever.
Well, should we just hop right into the next part of the news then?
Yes.
So, the Wii U.
The Wii U.
Tentative title.
Yes. Yeah.
Potentially. Rumors are abound that might not be the actual name.
Mm-hmm.
At E3 this year, it's going to be the final version.
Exciting.
That will be released this holiday season. So we are seeing
exciting.
A new Nintendo system this year.
That's soon.
Relatively speaking, that's pretty soon.
That's very soon.
Considering we don't know anything much about this system.
And the fact that we don't know anything about its competitors' systems. Next generation systems either.
So, and that's kind of why, like, you sit there and you look at the Xbox rumors, where Blu-ray and anti-piracy and 6 times more powerful than the current Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
And then you read this, where you're getting the tablet controllers and a system that's 2 times more powerful than the Xbox 360. Well, 2 times more powerful than the Xbox 360 is all I really need.
The thing is, I think Nintendo's taking... I don't know why Nintendo thinks they have so much... I understand that they know that they're making a good console. Yes. But the thing is, how do they know theirs is going to be more successful? Because they're practically putting all their cards on the table at this point.
No, because what they've said is they think there's a market for all 4 of their systems.
At the same time?
So
which is their 4th system?
DS, 3DS, Wii, Wii U.
I don't think the DS is going to be phased out.
They still consider it a system.
I think they should stop considering it a system soon.
But the funny thing is Nintendo did this when the DS came out.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, we're going to have the DS and we're going to have the Game Boy Advanced. We're going to have 2 handheld systems.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden the DS started selling really well, and they're like, what's this, Game Boy Advanced thing? And then all of a sudden the DSi came out and it didn't have the Game Boy Advance slot, and all of a sudden they're like, bye, Game Boy Advanced. So I think that's just Nintendo's way of staying in a safe zone.
Yeah. Sony does a similar thing with their whole 10-year life cycle, and they've been saying that they're going to keep to it for the PlayStation 3.
Which is interesting too.
I think that's solid of them, because they did it with the PS2.
They did it, but I mean the PS2 they had to, because they had no games come out when the PS3 came out.
That's true.
So, that's what I mean. Like if your PlayStation 4 launch is way more successful,
yes, like
I can see the PS3 being phased out faster.
Well, I think, right now the developers aren't ready for whatever the next generation is, whereas the Wii U, the technology is relatively current.
Yeah, you're just playing
just a little bit more.
You're just playing with that new controller more than anything.
Exactly.
You're making the same games, but with
the games are just as shiny.
New mechanics.
Because we all know, it's twice as powerful Xbox, or twice as powerful as the Xbox 360. But we all know the PS3 has a little bit more hardware behind it. So if you're already developing for something that's already more powerful, you should be comfortable with this.
So technically, what Nintendo's saying with their whole 4 system work is that casual games can stay on the Wii. So Grandma and Grandpa don't have to buy a Wii U.
Okay.
They can continue playing, Wii Sports Resort and Wii Fit on their Wii console. Mm-hmm. But for people who actually want games...
Us, regular games.
Us regular type folk, we'll want a Wii U.
That makes sense.
Because that's where your Zeldas are going to be, that's where your Marios are going to be, that's where your Darksiders 2 is going to be.
Your actual big boy games.
The big boy games are going to be on this system, which is going to cost more. Like this, Reggie's already said the Wii U will be for people with an expendable income.
Oh, I don't like that word.
Where your Wii U is your budget price gaming system.
Your Wii?
Your Wii, sorry. Yes, your budget price gaming system, so...
Well, it's already like $99.
I was just going to say, like, $100 gets you a Wii.
Wii with
for the
game.
6 people that already don't own it.
Because
everybody and their grandparents own a Wii, and that's not even exaggerating, because old people own that system.
No, it's a great system for older people to own.
So, and the Wii U... I don't know, that controller still, I like it, but...
I don't like Reggie's wording of people with an expendable
income.
So is that like a $500 price tag, or is that $400 price tag? That sounds. I'm gonna predict a $399.
I think coming out this holiday season, and you're going to have a cheap PlayStation 3 out, and you're going to have a cheap Xbox 360 out, because don't even kid me, their prices might not drop, but they'll start throwing extra stuff in those bundles to sell by Christmas.
Yeah.
The Wii U...
The PlayStation 3 sold like mad.
Yeah. The Wii U cannot come out with a really high price point if they're coming out this holiday season. But I think, and like Nintendo's been learning from their 3DS debacle.
Yes.
So I think that like they're not going to sit there going, you know, the 3DS was $250 and now it's 106, like 170.
169.
Yeah.
Yeah, 160 or 167, whatever.
I think it's it's 170 if we give them, you know, we'll give them the extra dollar. That's a pretty big price drop.
That's a 60% price drop.
So I think, honestly, when the Wii U comes out, they're going to be looking at that, going, okay, let's not sell it at the highest price point because you are.
And that's the thing, like how much tech is going to be in there to you know.
Yes.
To worthy the additional price in it, right?
Well, and
there's not much going into it unless there's other features that they may have not announced yet.
Well, and it depends on what games are coming out too.
That's true.
Because I'm not going to buy a Wii U at Christmas if all I'm getting is, you know,
I don't know,
My Sims and Dragon Ball Z fighting.
Here's a pet. A Nintendogs game.
Yeah, here's a Connectimals, but yeah, Nintendogs game for your, you know, Wii U.
You can look at your dog.
Yep.
But there's a dog there.
Yes. But I have a real dog. They don't matter. Take your virtual one for a walk. Okay?
So, yeah, and obviously Zelda's not going to be coming out.
No.
If it's coming out if the console's coming out this year.
Unless they've been really quiet about something we don't know about.
No,
honestly, they could probably pump out a Mario game faster.
I think Mario's already in development anyways.
Yeah,
Super Mario Brothers Me or something.
I'm kind of sitting there thinking, you know what? Honestly, if you release a Star Fox title, a Mario title, like Retro Studios, there's that rumor that they're possibly working on a Star Fox game.
Yeah, but don't they just handle handheld games?
It's Retro?
Yeah.
No, they did Metroid Prime.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I thought
they're the people that did the Metroid Prime and the Donkey Kong Country game. So.
Okay.
If they've been, because we haven't heard anything from them for a while, so maybe Nintendo's been like, here's the Wii U before anybody else touches it. Because a Star Fox is a pretty good launch title.
It would be. It would be a good, like, we haven't seen anything from Star Fox anyways for like ever.
Other than the 3DS game, which is really just the N64 game.
Exactly. So the last real Star Fox game was like a GameCube game.
Yeah, the Adventures game, Star Fox. Not Adventures, Star Fox.
Yeah, there was never a Wii Star Fox game, which puzzles my mind a little bit.
There was a lot of stuff lacking from the Wii.
Coming to think of it, yeah.
Like Kirby just came out for the Wii.
Yeah, like
and the Wii is now
the last like year has been the big Kirby year.
Yeah.
Because the Epic Yarn and the.
But like the Wii has been, like it's coming to the end of its life cycle.
Like,
and we're finally seeing Donkey Kong and Kirby and.
The only two big games we saw was like Mario and Zelda, really.
And we had one Metroid Prime game.
Yeah, and one Metroid Metroid Other M. As well.
And Metroid Other M, so yeah.
Which wasn't even a Nintendo game.
Yeah, Nintendo was involved.
I thought it was Tecmo.
No, it was Nintendo and Team Ninja.
Oh, Tecmo / Team Ninja. Sorry.
Yeah. No, they teamed up. They made their own. They made their own company for that game.
Whatever. So it surprises me that there was no Star Fox on this console.
Maybe that would be a good launch title for the next. Because I mean that all depends this holiday season.
Right.
You have to It's got to come with at least one tablet. The console.
I would almost be willing that
It supports two, but it has to.
No contest. It'll have to come with one. And do you think they should bundle a Wii Remote Plus in there as well, or do you
know what? They're probably cheap enough for them to make now. That yes.
Because do you think they're just gonna bank on the fact that everyone
owns a Wii? I don't know. I don't think you can. And if a Wii Remote and a nunchuck are still responsible for some of the games.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got so you.
And the nunchuck.
So a tablet, a nunchuck,
and a
Wii Remote Plus, which honestly for them is.
And this whole we haven't heard anything about the fact that it might have a sensor bar as well.
Yeah, we have no idea.
So where's the sensor bar going to be? Or I know it's not finalized yet.
Yeah, because we don't know because apparently the Wii U we're seeing this year at E3 is much different than the one that we saw at the last E3.
That's good.
So there are changes being made. They just aren't talking about them yet.
No, and that's wise.
Yeah, you got to keep a little bit of a mystery to things, but
which is good.
Yeah, but
it's hard to say.
But yeah, throw a game in there if you're coming out at Christmas bundle.
Do you think another sports game?
They probably will. Yes, you will get Wii Sports.
Yeah.
Wii U Sports Olympic thingy.
Oh, weird. Price point? I don't know. Launch, and it depends on what games come out at launch, right? Because the console only is successful as its launch titles.
Well, that's the thing. If I can get a Star Fox game made by Retro Studios,
and some other Nintendo game
who have yet to fail me.
I think they need another Nintendo game as
And yeah, you throw in
From the Donkey Kong.
sure Donkey Kong or Kirby or you have to open maybe a Luigi's Mansion. Worked for the GameCube.
Yeah, Luigi's Mansion
3.
Oh no, 2 is already. Oh,
Yeah.
Do you think 3 is too soon after 2 is coming out? We don't even know when 2 is coming out, and I'm super excited for that.
Or just a really big name to like Darksiders 2 is supposed to be a launch title for the Wii U.
Maybe a Call of Duty.
That would be awesome. That would actually get some people thinking.
As much as I don't appreciate as Call of Duties.
That would sell systems.
Yeah,
so that's the thing. Like you can charge $400 for a system if you've got, at least 2 or
AAA titles.
If you've got a few games to back it up.
Yeah.
But if
that's why I think the Vita will succeed.
Yes, because their lineup's huge.
It's the biggest in Sony history.
Yeah.
So and that's why this 3DS kind of flopped initially.
And Nintendo,
I think they've learned.
Has learned from the Nintendo 3DS.
So I don't
launch.
think we haven't heard anything.
We don't know nothing.
There's no as far as I'm concerned, there's only one confirmed game. Like actually a game, Super Mario Brothers Me.
Yes.
That's the only game I know about for the Wii U.
And
it's coming out.
And I mean, we'll learn a lot more at E3 this year. So, this will be a big year for Nintendo.
Yeah, this is this is the make or break for the next console.
Because for sure. And honestly,
it's not even big for Microsoft or Sony.
No,
it's huge
for Nintendo.
If this whole what is this the investors thing to be coming out at by the end of 2012?
So yes, it's supposed to be out by the end of 2012. Global launch.
Okay, that's good.
So everybody gets it at the same time.
I hate this whole region thing.
Globally available by the 2012 holiday season.
Is this official or is it?
This is official. This is from Satoru Iwata. This is from President of Nintendo.
And he's relatively good with his words. So.
Everybody.
He's relatively.
Unless he's been mistranslated.
There's an update on that story though.
Yes. An investors conference. Blah blah blah. Final format of the Wii U shown at E3 of 2012. So we will see the final.
That's
piece of hardware.
Even if it somehow magically does get delayed, that is the final.
That'll be the final one. So by June?
June. Yeah.
Yeah, by June they will have the system done, which means they'll be pumping them out like crazy.
And Nintendo's pretty good at pumping out things like crazy. It prints money.
They do. They did with the Wii.
And the DS.
And the controllers they've announced has a new functionality.
Yes, it's
NFC functionality, which means you can do the same thing as the Spyro game.
Yes.
So there you can make cards and stuff that you can actually put on the tablet. And it will be able to read them. So it's almost like the AR cards on the.
Well.
It's kind of like that. So all of a sudden you can include cards with your game.
See now, I understand that's a good feature. I think one feature that they do need to improve on is their AR stuff, not the near.
Yes.
The stuff that makes the 3DS this magical screen.
Yeah.
And the new Vita's they just announced not announced but they more clarified the PlayStation Vita's version of the AR stuff.
Yeah.
It actually remembers where the cards are.
Oh, that's nice.
So you can actually turn away from the cards
and not have it go and look at a card.
Yeah, I lost the vision, but so if it does something like that, because it already has the front and back camera, doesn't it? The tablet.
I believe so. Yes.
I know it has one camera. I don't know where the camera is.
I think it's. I don't know.
But.
No, it's on the front. I know it's on the front. So.
Yeah.
I know at least it's on the front.
So I think it needs some sort of AR functionality.
And I'm assuming there will be. But imagine this with a trading card game.
I don't like trading card games when it comes to consoles.
I'm not a huge fan either, but imagine
because that just.
Think about Yu-Gi-Oh! You could put a little chip in all your cards and actually have a dual pad thing where you're Blue Eyes White Dragon! And then on the TV screen it would be
Magic the Gathering!
Yeah.
Oh, Wizards will make money. Although, that would ramp up the cost in those cards. Exponentially.
But, And then Nintendo Network.
That's a big thing that was rumored on the Final Fantasy game, actually.
So personal accounts on your Wii U?
Yes. And they're also saying that it's going to be complete downloads of digital games as well.
Yes, they're working on complete digitally purchased, and that's for the 3DS as well.
Yes, exactly. So I think that's a huge step. That 2 gig card's not going to cut it anymore.
Nope. But what is also kind of nice to see is they're working on bigger games for downloadable on the 3DS. Because
Yes,
I think that was the initial hesitation with the Game Boy Advance games.
Well, there was never.
Because they're doing Game Boy, they're doing Game Boy Color, and then it's like, well, what about Game Boy Advance? And it's like, and the ambassadors got them.
Yes.
Like, we got Game Boy Advance games, but they still have not said if they're going to start selling them. I think this is a good indication that.
Well, they're not going to sell. I think the wording behind it is they're not going to sell the ones that we got.
No, but they never mentioned Game Boy Advanced. It was kind of like, no, our system, we don't want to do that big a game download type thing.
Yeah.
But now if you're able to download full 3DS titles,
I think that's
Game Boy Advance is kind of just
that
like...
should be trivial at this point.
Yeah, like, do it.
It should be trivial.
Yeah. And then paid downloadable content.
Which, Nintendo and downloadable content's always been up in the air. I mean, granted they've never done it before.
I think they're just saying this because they're actually getting a lot of third-party support for the Wii U. And, of course, that third-party support wants DLC.
Right.
But Nintendo's doing their whole Nintendo certified actual good game thing.
Yeah, the whole seal of approval.
Where if a game comes out and there's levels that are not complete, and they're like, oh, we'll just throw them in DLC, Nintendo's going to be like, no.
Yeah, no.
You gotta put those games in, and then you'll get it. Then you'll get your game released on our system. Yeah. Which is nice to see.
Or I think you can get the Nintendo seal on any Nintendo game as long as it passes their.
As long as it passes their thing, but that's kind of what their thing is with DLC. Is they don't want a game coming out incomplete, and then like the next day all of a sudden it's like DLC for your game.
I really like that. I really like that.
I enjoy that because that's always bugged me. You buy a game and then like 2 days later they're like, by the way, we know the story didn't really end.
Prince of Persia.
Yeah. So here's the epilogue for $10.
Yeah.
And you're going,
give us money for this game that we kind of half developed, or like Halo, where it's like we didn't have time for the ending.
Yeah.
Worst excuse ever. So I
I
really like that stance. It strives for development in video games, which makes it better in the long run.
Yeah, and I think honestly,
as many times as popular games like Gran Turismo and Metal Gear have been canceled or delayed rather, it ended up being fantastic.
Right, it ends up being a better game.
So,
and then this way too, I think Nintendo, if a game company does go like, okay, here's the game, there's still a level that needs to be finished, kind of thing. Whereas Sony and Microsoft tend to charge you for those.
Yes.
Nintendo might just be like, hey, we know your game's incomplete. Here's the rest of it for free. Like the DLC will actually just be free.
Yeah.
Because it finishes off the game. Like they're not going to have the crazy...
What was the last game that they had to do that for?
I don't know.
I don't think
Prince of Persia?
No, I mean like Nintendo.
They always finish their games.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like I've never seen...
I think this is just their assurance that just because they're getting DLC now, they're not going to...
And I think for them it's a wise decision anyways, just because... I mean, as much as they might not enjoy the idea of DLC, everyone else is, and they don't want to go against the flow.
No, and especially with them getting so much third-party support now, you really don't want to piss those people off.
Exactly.
But I like the personal accounts for the Wii U.
Yeah.
Like that's finally, and hopefully those are connected to your everything.
Do you think that's it'll connect to whatever online service that they're going to be using?
I'm assuming.
Or do you think that will be it?
I think this is it.
Because they're trying to be like, well, we'll let other people work on it.
And I'm assuming, I think the whole system is meant so that...
Or do you think...
like, if Steam wants to get in on this,
yes.
Steam goes in under the Nintendo Network platform and then Steam's.
And that's what they did with the PSN.
Right.
So, and that worked great.
But I think that's what Nintendo kind of meant now, is that, yes, we have our own network, but it's really open to other people coming in with their own
I think they saw what Sony and
Steam did.
With Valve.
And this is also nice to see because now we know that Origins isn't going to be the official online supplier of everything Nintendo.
I think that was a weird wording when they said that, like when they wanted someone to work on the online.
Yeah, when they were kind of like anybody can do whatever they want on our online system. It was kind of like
that's not good because even if it's just Steam, that means you're just going to be a Valve console. So this way it'll be good.
This way it's open to everything. So
yeah, and if they're still sticking with the whole anyone can work with us. I'm okay if it's Steam and maybe EA Origins.
Totally.
So
if they're both on the system, I'm okay with that.
Because Origins is as much as we don't appreciate it. It is getting a few big games.
Yep.
It's getting The Witcher 2.
Yep.
It's getting Rift.
Yep.
So
that's what I mean. Like yes, it totally viable, totally. But as long as you leave it open for everybody.
Yeah. Just let them like what's that science term when you let them the best one win? Darwinism? No. The one
Survival of the fittest.
Yeah, that's the one.
That's Darwin. You're good.
Okay.
You're on the right path.
Laterally.
But yeah, so like this, and that works out well because all of a sudden, I don't know, like.
Do you think?
Okay. The
so
most exciting thing is the controller, because honestly, think about games that are currently out. Like, think about a Mass Effect game. With that controller.
And there's a microphone in it.
There's voice, and apparently the Kinect voice stuff for Mass Effect 3 is incredibly cool.
Yes, my friend has told me that.
So, imagine now you have the interface and the voice and all that kind of stuff. The one thing that kind of bugs me is they've said for all the next Zelda games, they're not going to go away from motion control. And
I'm okay with that. I like the motion control in Skyward Sword.
I loved Skyward Sword, but I'm thinking about that tablet and a Zelda game, and it's almost like playing Ocarina of Time on the 3DS, where that top screen has nothing on it.
Yes.
And it's gorgeous because it looks there's no interface.
Yeah.
All your interface stuff is on the bottom. That'd be so nice on a big screen with an HD Zelda game to have all of your your hearts, your magic, everything
items,
down
everything,
here.
Yeah. I would totally.
But unfortunately, they still want you to go.
Well, as long as it's more like. Well, it depends on what the next Zelda game is going to be like, right?
True.
So we don't know anything about it. It could be just. Here's your shield.
It'll be like that crossbow game that they released.
The one that I played 5 minutes of and traded in.
Yeah.
Hey, I bought it just for the zapper.
Well, yeah, you got the zapper with the game free, so.
That zapper's the best investment I had on my Wii since Wii Motion Plus.
And then Wii Motion Plus came out and broke the zapper.
No, you can get the one with the remote inside the remote.
Yes, and now you can get the new controllers, which actually fit in all the peripherals again. So.
Thanks, Nintendo.
Yeah, thanks for that one. But yeah, so Nintendo news, which is partially
big.
Exciting.
It's pretty big.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Movie and TV. What do you have?
We'll go through this real quick.
Yeah.
There's a trailer for a trailer.
A trailer for a teaser for a
teaser for a trailer.
Teaser for a
so
teaser.
Back in the 1980s,
yes.
for those who remember, there's a really big movie called Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
It was fantastic.
It was glorious.
Yeah.
It's
still glorious.
It's amazing.
There is no kid who has not watched that and gone, if
That's
only I would have done that in high school.
If only I would totally, put that on a car in reverse.
Yep.
Make it go backwards. There's a teaser trailer for a Ferris Bueller 2.
We don't...
or maybe it is not Ferris Bueller.
We don't know.
It's the same actor.
All we know is the trailer pops up and Matthew Broderick comes up in a bathrobe, closes a window.
Opens the window, I think.
Does he open it?
He opens the windows. And he has a line of, I don't... It's like,
yes,
what a good day not to do anything.
And then he sits down at his computer and goes... It's too nice a day to go
anything.
to work.
And then there's the whole boom, boom, and then and then there's a date.
And then and the date's the day of the Super Bowl.
So I think it's a great time for them to release that because
that's
what everyone watches.
It's either the movie, or it's going to be a commercial with Ferris Bueller in it. Because they did that a year ago with Chevy Chase and the lady from Vacation. Is all of a sudden the Discover card used those two going on vacation. If you would have used Discover card, your vacation wouldn't be like this. So I'm really hoping it's Ferris Bueller 2.
I like the rumored title of it though. Ferris Bueller's Other Day Off. I think Matthew Broderick needs to make a comeback, and then.
He's been on Broadway.
He's been on Broadway, but as far as movies go...
Well, he's letting Sarah Jessica Parker bring home the bacon, so...
I think it's time for him to come back.
I agree.
He's awesome.
Well, and Ferris Bueller's period is
iconic.
Awesome, so...
Ferris Bueller is iconic for our generation.
So, I don't know, I'm...
Whatever that is.
I am hoping...
I am as well.
...that it is actually Ferris Bueller 2.
Oh, I am totally... I'm almost gonna say that it is. But
me too. I'm assuming it is, and the Super
it,
Bowl is a great day to go all of a sudden. Guess what, folks?
Remember that movie you guys watched back in the 80s? Yeah.
And for us, it would be the 90s, but yes.
Whatever.
I own it on DVD. Most people I know own it on DVD.
I have it somewhere. I don't know what it is.
But you like Sherlock? Just a tad.
A little bit.
Well. CBS is coming out with their own Sherlock Holmes show based in modern times.
No, not interested.
And the people who actually BBC and the actual, Sherlock show.
Yeah.
They're not so happy.
I would wonder why. Because there's...
So the shtick is, if the CBS show if the CBS show ends up way too close to the actual BBC Sherlock show, there's going to be some legal fighting going on.
I think there's going to be huge issues.
I
already predicted.
So hopefully CBS gets their stuff together and actually, does something different.
I don't know.
But at the same time, if they do something different, it's probably not going to work as well.
Yeah, because the reason why Sherlock is so appealing and so just incredibly awesome is because it's the most unoriginal product I've seen in a long time. Is the best way I can describe it.
Yeah.
So for them to try and change Sherlock again, the Sherlock Holmes series it's pretty cut and dry.
Yeah,
it's very basic. So for
mystery, guy who solves them, solves them.
So yeah, throw in a bit of what's that word? Ignorance in there. You have what the Sherlock Holmes movies with Robert Downey Jr., which are fine, and then you have the Sherlock TV show, which kind of two spectrums. They can exist.
Oh, totally.
I don't think I'll ever watch Game of Shadows or Game of Thrones or whatever. Game of Shadows.
Game of Shadows.
Just because
Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, just because my expectations for the Sherlock Holmes franchise.
It's
so high. That, It's so high. I can't watch anything else based off of it.
My other thing is if it's an English property, Sherlock Holmes is.
Yeah.
BBC should be handling it. Period. It's like the Merlin show. All of a sudden, that Camelot show came out in the States. All of a sudden, an American person made an English-based folklore something kind of tale. Mm-hmm. Well, it didn't do all that well.
No. Isn't it canceled?
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
Yay.
So
I guess
that's what I mean. The characters don't look right. The English are always better at this kind of stuff.
Because look at Merlin. 90% of the cast is British. So and it works because that's the time period. And same thing with the Sherlock TV show. It takes place in London.
Yeah, and the bonus of that the BBC has is they can actually film in London.
Yes. And if they want, they can be here's a random location that, not many people realize this is part of the real Sherlock Holmes fiction.
So that's what I mean, an American network can't do that. They just can't. So
they won't have the same charm.
No,
and that's the best part, is the thing to keep in mind.
And my biggest thing is, why do you make something that's almost identical, but worse? Just take the BBC stuff, pay the BBC.
And then air it over here.
And just air it here.
We don't get it here.
No.
We don't get any... We rarely get any BBC shows here.
We get BBC Canada.
Yes.
Which doesn't really show many BBC shows. They show the news more than anything. They show BBC News, which is lovely.
It's a different can of worms.
Yeah, but
we don't get Top Gear. We get American Top Gear.
Right.
Which is.
And then to watch Merlin, you have to watch the Space Channel. Mm-hmm. Well, honestly, if you aired Merlin on NBC, in prime time, you would win that time slot.
Yeah. Even if they put Sherlock on Space, I'm really surprised it's not on Space.
Yes.
No, and the only reason why I can say that is because they're an hour and a half each, which it's hard to accommodate in American time slots.
But in an American time slot, you cut that in half, and now you have 6 episodes instead of 3.
The way that the Sherlock shows work, they can't do that.
You could put to be continued at the end.
There's not the way the Sherlock. Have you seen any of them yet?
No.
Okay, so the way the episodes work is that it's one long narrative, but there's no continuity within the episode. It's just one big long drawn out thing. It worked, and that's why it takes so long to make these episodes. It's because they're all well thought out. They don't have any breaks in between.
But the Americans can find a way to chop it in half.
They would, but it wouldn't be the same. I just think it wouldn't be the same because you need the full thing at once. Either way, I think Space should pick up.
I was going to say, all they have to do is take the BBC show and bring it over here. Yeah. We don't need our own Americanized version.
And honestly, if you just advertise Sherlock now on Space or NBC or whatever for...
But that's the BBC trying to make an American show. And The Office worked, but in a very different way. The BBC...
That's so different.
The BBC's Office, way different than ours.
like the humor is different because the humor in British humor is way different.
Yes.
And the actors bring something that's completely different to the table.
Completely different.
Whereas like the Top Gear America, they tried to replicate that and
it just doesn't work. But that's like if the BBC tried doing a Smallville show. Like you just don't touch another country's property, I guess. That's like my thing.
I don't understand how the CBS could. It's a pure money thing.
Oh yeah.
That's all it is.
So
when are they saying that this is coming out?
Doesn't say.
It's probably not going to go off the air then, off the ground.
CBC has announced that...
CBC or CBS?
CBS, sorry. Has announced that the pilot has been ordered.
Ordered.
So that, like, they've paid for a pilot episode to be made. And that's it. So they'll see where the pilot episode goes, and then they'll maybe make more episodes.
I'll see the promos for it.
Yeah, so...
yeah. Just weird news. Weird for Sherlock.
Yes. Other than that, movie news, do you have anything else?
Just one final one here.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes. If you guys who follow me on whatever purpose know that Hot Fuzz, probably my favorite action movie, one of my favorite action movies of all time, Simon Pegg, Nick Frost, and with Edgar Wright as writers. You might know that they share similarities with the Shaun of the Dead.
Just a few.
Just a little bit. The reason is because those two movies are part of a trilogy of movies.
Yes.
Called the Cornetto Ice Cream, Blood and Bath and Cornetto, something like that. So there's a third movie that Edgar Wright, Nick Frost, and Simon Pegg are working on together. And they have finally confirmed that they are working on it. And they're writing it, they're penning it, they're getting everything together. It's called The World's End. And I cannot be more thrilled to see these guys working together again. They've been away from each other for so long.
I am really hoping that it's an apocalypse movie.
It's
what the name sounds like.
It's what the name is, and they'll spoof it, and it'll be really, really good.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's been forever since these guys have done anything together.
Well, Simon Pegg's been working on Star Trek.
Yes, he's been working on Star Trek.
And I think Edgar Wright's been working on Ant-Man, hasn't he?
He's been working on Ant-Man. He's spent a lot of time working on the Scott Pilgrim movie.
Yeah.
And Simon Pegg and Nick Frost, they were working on Paul.
Yeah.
So that kind of put their work aside.
Yeah.
And I think, are they done? Are they filming now for Star Trek?
Yes.
Either way, he probably doesn't have a huge role in it as Scotty.
Again.
He probably won't have a huge role.
No.
I mean, he didn't have a big one anyway in the first movie.
And the way that the internet works, you can do a lot of writing stuff.
Yeah. Well, they all live in the same country.
Well, I know, except unless you're filming Star Trek in the States, then you're... But, you can actually teleconference and do all that.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like you're sitting over a phone anymore.
Yeah.
You've now got...
You can Skype it.
You can Skype, you can do all that fun stuff.
Yeah. The worst case scenario is they'll just, FaceTime.
Yeah.
To all 5 people who use FaceTime.
Yeah.
Sorry, that odd person out. So, yeah, I'm super excited for this movie. I've known about it for a long time. I've talked about it for lots. And they've already talked about it that they're going to do this third movie. And it's honestly the last one that they're going to be, they're working together on. And
yep.
I couldn't be more thrilled that it's finally coming to fruition.
So,
yeah. Did you enjoy those?
I loved those, yeah, they were good movies. I really liked Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah.
Hot Fuzz
is my favorite.
Nah.
Only because it felt like they're building up until the very end where everything just collapses and then goes, okay, this guy's gonna snap and he's gonna kill everyone.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah. I loved Hot Fuzz.
Yeah, no, Hot Fuzz was good, but I really like Shaun of the Dead, and if they make an apocalypse movie...
Yeah, just making fun of 2012.
Yep.
How funny would that be if actually, they've done everything by 2012?
I don't think they will.
No, they won't. It'll be like a 2014 movie, but...
Yeah.
But, I can't wait for that movie.
Yeah.
Just because, yeah.
And then otherwise, other movie news I don't really want to talk about, but there was a rumor spoiler for the Avengers movie.
Yes.
And if you want to find out more, look it up online. But if you don't want it to be spoiled, then don't look it up. Because it's fairly big news.
It's fairly big news.
It's exciting.
If it's true and depending on the gravity of...
yes, depending on who's... It's a cameo spoiler.
Major character in the Avengers histories.
Yes. So... but it would involve a lot of contract writing.
Yes.
And it depends on who's playing the actual character, so... If you want to know, look it up. It is on the web. I just don't want to really spoil it.
Just go to Whedonist.com.
Yeah.
It's probably on there.
They got new pictures on there, too, for the Avengers. But they're not exciting in any way, shape, or form. So.
I'm sad because I wish I was in Hong Kong for Chinese New Year.
Oh, yeah?
Because all the theaters were giving out red pocket money.
Oh, yeah?
That had the Avengers on them. And you could get like 8 separate ones. And I'm like, ah!
Should have gone to Hong Kong for Chinese New Year, not whenever you went.
Son of a bitch.
Jeez.
Crap. Alright, so site news? What did we do this week?
Site news. You had
I had a Mega Man
thing.
As weird as, it is. It's the guys playing Mega Man, the soundtrack, and all the sound effects, while the guy's playing it live.
Which is...
It's a feat.
Exciting.
I watched about 30 minutes of it, and I was like, I've got things to do, but this is awesome.
Yeah.
It's the whole Mega Man 2 experience.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
I saw that, and I was like, wow, that's impressive for them to do that while they're playing it.
Yeah.
So, Monday?
Monday, because Chinese New Year. Thanks for Tony.
Monies. Chinese New Year.
What Chinese zodiac animal creature
Tiger.
are you, was our question.
I'm the only tiger.
You are the only tiger who voted.
Rawr.
Thank God there's a couple rabbits on here. Horse.
That's a weird one.
Horse came out on time. And the other part of the question on the website was, are you happy with your animal?
I said rawr. I think that's a contest of yes.
You know what? And I'm okay with being a rabbit. Rabbits are cool.
Dude, I got Tony the Tiger next to my name.
I got the Trix rabbit.
No, Tony the Tiger.
That's true. And honestly, out of all the stuff, rabbit is way better than ox, rat.
I don't know. I would definitely want to be a dragon.
Dragon's cool. I'm not saying but there's a lot of not cool guys up there. So.
I don't understand. I never understood rat.
Rat. Then I reviewed
games.
Professor Layton in the Unknown Future on Tuesday.
A lot of lightning.
Yeah,
still
good game. Hump Day humor. Thanks to tasteofawesome.com.
Love it. More Layton
on Thursday. And then today you reviewed...
We're puzzling. We're murder mysterying it up.
Yes.
Clue is a movie, if you guys don't know.
Yes, it is.
It is based... The movie is based off of the board game.
With Tim Curry and Christopher Lloyd.
Christopher Lloyd... I did not know he was in the movie until about a quarter way in. And I was like, why does Professor Plum sound like Emmett Brown? So, I was super excited for that when I saw that.
Yep. That's it.
It's probably one of the best but
board game to game
things thing that existed as a thing into a movie.
So not like Battleship.
No. Why is that a movie?
Because it is.
How can it be a movie? Is a better question.
Magic.
I didn't think Clue could be a movie until I watched this.
And then it made sense.
Yeah, they actually, because the best part about the Clue movie is that to factor in with the whole random nature of the board game,
right,
they include multiple endings.
Yes, I saw
in the movie. So it's it could happen this way.
Or it could happen
this way. But this is how it really happened. Or it could have happened this way. I'm like, so I got really giddy watching this entire movie because it's there's a secret passage.
Anywho.
So, yeah, that's it. Yeah. All we are doing.
Nothing exciting next week. No.
Maybe an extra game review. We'll see.
Oh yeah, just got that one loaded up, ready to go. Anywho.
Yes.
Goodbye.
Evening.
Morning.
Day.
Moon day.
Sky day.
Bye.
Oh, wait, you already said that.
You can go.
finally have confirmation that the world's end is finally a thing from Simon Pegg and Frost and the third guy that does those movies.
No one remembers?
No, I know his name. I just I can't remember his name for some reason unbeknownst to me. Maybe if I go to screen, it'll be up there because it's pretty huge. It's their last movie. Edgar Wright.
There you go.
Yeah. So, well, I guess Nick Frost doesn't write for it, but he'll kind of do anything they do. So, because they're like the trio, they're cornetos.
Yes.
The Cornetto trilogy. I'm super excited for that.
Oh, Netflix isn't going to be renting out video game.
Yeah, and they still want to opt out of the Diva disc, but that's not really.
That's not surprising.
No. So I don't want to do this. Do you want to start from big news to small news, or small news to big news?
I guess smaller to bigger.
Okay.
I don't know what's really small news, but...
Well, I'm thinking about this. I was thinking about this in class today. And no, not that. I was thinking about our order, and I was thinking, like, what if we try doing an intro, put the animated thing in the middle to separate it, and then continue from there? Do you think, just as a trial? Because have you ever watched Ignition?
No, but like a headlines kind of thing?
Not headlines, but like kind of in... Well, I guess.
Like on today's show?
Yeah. Like, instead of just kind of cutting out of... It's like cutting out of the news, because I don't know. I know that adds a lot to iTunes, and we could use that space for other stuff. Like, it would be that, cut the intro in there, and then put the actual newscast behind that, instead of having just two separate things, even though one's still smaller than the other. Because the people are still going to watch / listen to the news in the beginning, regardless, right? Oh, but then...
I think it's just a visual thing, like you see 2 hours, and you get kind of...
That's true.
We could just make a separate YouTube thing, or not YouTube, iTunes.
No, I don't want to do that, because that... I don't know if Apple's takes too kindly to pretty much the same thing twice.
I don't mind. It goes back like 10 episodes, technically.
Okay.
And if anybody really wants a backlog of our stuff, they can always ask. It's on the server.
It's somewhere.
Dropbox.
I love Dropbox. Did you vote for them?
What?
They're nominated for the Crunchies of 2011 of best cloud-based service.
Oh. Well, they're much better than Bitcasa.
No, everything else on the list of things to vote is like, I've never heard of them. So I'm like, well, this is easy. This is an easy vote.
Try them all.
No, I'm not going to try them all. I'm not going to catch them all. Okay, so I've got 5, 6, 1, 2. Resident Evil Revelations.
Yep. Oops.
Revelations. I want one of those. Now I want to buy just to have it.
Just to have that, yep. I know, I'm sitting there going, now I have to buy.
Now I want that one. Mega Man and Pac-Man, Xbox, Wii, and BlizzCon, Sweet Tooth. Ferris. I love that trailer for Ferris Bueller too. Is pissing me off because it's like more.
And I know, it's like, it's too nice to go to work. It's too nice a day to go to work. Ends. What?
Fuck! It's like, it's literally like 5 seconds long. I'm like, oh.
I know.
And then the world ends, which I know I'm personally super, like, excited for. Let me see if I can find that picture.
How?
The ends. People who didn't get first edition bundle, blah blah blah, on Best Buy deal. Plus it builds having the game system or game around with those system. You know you're pulling for ideas. Fucking who's gonna? His reasoning was like, oh, because people who imported the game, like, if you imported it, you would have bought Uncharted as well. I would have if I was.
Yeah, if you're importing the system, you're already going to.
Fuck.
Oh well.
Okay, so go.
I guess so.
We want this in here?
I guess so.
Do you think Tim Horns would be angry?
No.
Do you think
can't
they'll see it?
anyway?
They'll see nondescript Timbit being
Hey, if America runs on Duncan, Canadians run on Horton.
Here's a who?
Yeah.
Okay.
Dr. Seuss.
Stop eating cereal.
Got to stop standing up.
I'll stop. I can't.
I don't want any cereal anymore.
Why are you all green powder, man?
Oh no.
What? I don't like cereal no more.
Oh,
Okay.
goodness gracious.
Oh dear.
Okay, you've got that one.
Yes.
There's that one. And that one we'll just say a quick little...
Do you want to introduce that, or do you want? Because you can talk about the X1, Box One, and I'll introduce the Nintendo one.
Sure.
As far as conversation.
Sure. So I will get rid of Nintendo Star. Oh no!
I wonder if we use Spider-Man and Batman.
Oh no!
One is for peanut butter. Two is for tuba. Three is for
Batman!
Batman.
Batman!
This Batman house. This Batman house. I'll put a sign in front of my apartment that says
Hi.
This Tony house.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you, Shadow?
Oh.
Come here. Yeah. Come here. You're gonna be famous.
Doggy paw.
Oh. Come say hi quickly.
Smells like doggy.
You have not been feeling well. I'll hold you for
This doggy hug.
you. You look happy now.
Oh.
Kisses. Go get Tony.
Don't get me!
Go get Tony.
Don't get me. This Batman house.
Go get Tony. Goodbye.
Good evening.
Did you watch our thing with
With
captions?
How does it? Okay, how bad is it? Because I've seen other videos that do it, but we can't just click that one and then just it'll transcribe it.
Yeah, but this is just one of our longer ones.
Well, we'll just cut to the middle.
Oh no, this isn't. Should have it on here.
Maybe hit that one. Show annotations.
No.
Hi everybody.
Good morning, or wherever.
Yeah.
Whenever.
Hold on.
Whenever.
Welcome to Cast for Jen.
Does it have to be an older one, do you think?
It must be a newer one.
That was last week's.
I know, which is why it's odd that it wasn't on the working. Unless they just got rid of them. Because we made fun of them.
We didn't, though.
There! See, it's on the news.
Oh, maybe it's because it's not long enough, or too
long.
This is
Automatic captions available in your language.
So, welcome everyone to the news, the very old news.
For January 20th,
Okay.
2012. Last time we
Just
checked.
doesn't
Yes.
say.
Subject, yes, yes.
My name's Tony Wong.
Anti-stalking law, Tiny Chelly.
Let's get to it.
Okay, first.
Oh, that's good.
Talking first thing that
3 demos are here this
3
week.
years demos are here this
Start off
week.
by downloading the new Resident Evil.
Hey, it spells Revelations, right?
Yeah.
Binders get if you want to know something opinion study once.
Ticket
Tickets review.
In light of part of the light of the above.
Issues this month, Satan.
Oh,
Yes,
yes,
it's
this
finally officious such drastic status of the support. Which is good news. Issue usually easy rejection every tree. Or you guess.
In the bare minimum coverage and unimpeded. What?
My guess.
Estimate that box. I like that.
Crowd and the Rocket Mail.
I love Rocket Mail.
With that dot, she said that, update Axes, which is Burger King, so... Xbox outlined offer faster passion for the Indians, supportedly what you do. Yesterday,
Xbox loves Indians.
Earlier this week, Resident Evil was the Greek week prison you will...
Has been announced. Greek needs to be in development.
Several stories to be changes along with the inclusion of Chris Redfield and Leon S. Candy joint.
Yay! Gets Redfield, but not Candy joint.
Inside the Senate, uninvited into the announced incident, Super Duper Hartwick. There's Scally, 1999 mobile. An internet want to be seen in the game you have to suffer. So we don't think you know what that means yet, but it sounds exciting. Hey, look, it actually said something English. Earlier week, they Kingdom Parts, though this Christmas the King of Hearts 3 years bundle will be embossed. Designed on the previous along with the Japanese release date of March 26th. 2,000 votes, which means I'll get a good job. Due to the relationships, explains. Type of last week, but not way. Star Wars animal happens misuse before the millions admission mothers you. No, it's regular. And pages have their release first patch fix a lot of issues.
But the rest tests actually made altercation, sun space. Somebody's new. I can't.
New ones became the.
What
the GDP zones keeps throwing 100 Imperial people at the 14 Rebel people there. Hey, that was kind of English.
No, it isn't.
Yet you know. There's only
only
one that gets the best one. Star Trek on this country to play.
And most of the folks on
Ecstasy, since it is so. Oakley Brittany's source says it's research I can't. Oh, there's a population. Anatonies can stop this week. The Marlin about Marvel heroes that kind of just came back from nowhere. That part was English. Is now using the browser-based redecorating. That's so browser-based Unreal Street London.
Yay!
Interesting combo in athletes yet.
Yay! I love athlete combos.
It is fighting them, the fighting for Chicago's... Oh.
Put in high or thigh?
High. For $15. It's a lot of money for talk about Albert. And they were somewhat performance. By what date? So there's a thing there, but you know if you'll do
a lot. If you go to soak up the good guys again.
Order 50... Buy now when it comes up for that $12. Saves money. The figures of... and I'm blessed me and Williams for this weekend's going online to spy on the internet for Cotton Realms.
Yes!
Part of the Dungeons & Dragons series.
I thought that's what you said. Cotton Williams.
I told you, this is nuts. Driver airbag indicator, like alongside from the novels and Oregon's You Can't Do It. Welfare trends. We sound smart sometimes.
I love that when they try to translate into English. Let's see, Japanese. Vita accessories. That's I spelled that correctly.
They'll forgive you.
I'm trying to find this one. Come on, give me the. Oh, there's a. Oh my god, how does this work? Translate, that's what I was. Oh, god damn it. Oh my god. The computers. I don't like cereal anymore.
I don't like Go and give it a fuck on. You broke it.
I didn't break it.
You broke it.
YouTube.
You broke it.
YouTube.
Ah!
Translate this bitch. Damn it! Fuck.
I'm not using Google Chrome, I'm using Firefox.
Firefox works like that too.
Mine doesn't. Press the translate again. You right-clicked. You right-clicked.
search for another video.
Pooey.
Pooey?
Pooey. Look, I can do the news as an emo. And welcome to the emo news.
Hello.
Ah.
I can taste my hair.
Mmm, hair. I can't taste my hair no more. Not long enough.
Accessories. Interview?
Oh.
Oh, that's what I was looking for. Yes! Oh, that's not good at all.
Well, let's do the news and then we can play with
Okay.
it. We're already filming.
バッテリーについて教えてください。
Let's take a look at that. Hello? Hold on, wait for it. 1 second.